Welcome back. Here's a special Pirelli race analysis talking about all that Pirelli does to keep these cars well shod. 10,000 tires in all brought for this Rolex 24 race weekend. 3,000 of them rain tires, and I'd love to know how many of those rain tires they went through during those 5 hours or so that we had a wet racetrack when this race began yesterday. 12 trailers in all. 60 performance techs handling everything from dismounting to selecting to mounting and balancing the new tires before sending the wheels back to the crews. 12 engineers in all masterminding the process.
Running these big race teams for the tires is a big job, Bob. It's a massive, massive job.
Pirelli's done a great job for Grand Am and the Rolex series.
Yeah.
Now there's Justin Wilson, the race leader in the 01. Telmex, Target, Ganassi Racing, BMW Riley. Going for their 4th win in 5 years overall here at the Rolex. That is an unprecedented run of success. Of course, it's not over yet. We're just under 3 hours remaining, and as we keep harping on about anything can happen. In fact, the sister car to this one, identically prepared with the very same engine, blew its engine just after midnight last night. As Scott Pruitt said earlier, sure, that makes you wonder about how yours is hanging on.
He must be about to stop too, I would imagine. If he doesn't stop this lap, I'm imagining he'll have to stop next lap. But yes, always a very big worry when you oh, look at that, a big worry when somebody has a breakage on a car that's identical to yours.
You called it, David. The race leader is into the pits.
And guys, Justin Wilson, like I said, going to stay behind the wheel for one more stint. Then Scott Pruitt will likely get in about an hour, and he's going to hopefully finish this thing out. The team blowing out the radiators, 4 tires, fuel. You guys were just talking about that engine failure on the 02 car. Now, this team not too worried about the 01 because the engine that was in the 02 car, that wasn't their race motor. On Friday, when they put the race motor in that car, they finally fired the car up, and it was leaking oil. So problem with that motor, they had to put an older motor in, a motor that had 8 hours of time on it. And so the team said, you know what, we don't know a lot about these Dyna motors. We're still learning about this Dyna BMW package, and because that motor had that much time on it, we really didn't have a lot of faith in it.
Well, of course, that would be a huge sigh of relief for everybody. Knowing the thing had got 8 hours on it already. Obviously a pretty good chance that it was just overstretched.
Well, it's way too early to start talking about victories, but the last and only BMW overall win here at the Rolex 24 came back in 1976 when Peter Gregg, Brian Redman, and John Fitzpatrick drove a BMW 3.5 liter CSL to the overall win. And there was a guy back finishing 10th overall in another CSL by the name of David Hobbs.
Yeah, with Benny Parsons. And for some reason or other, everybody got water in the fuel that year, and it was, of course, quite a flap. But the lead car somehow seemed to get it out, and unfortunately we were stuck with it, coughing and spluttering all the way to the end. Poor old Brian was so tired, he had done most of the driving. He went up to his room to change to go for the prize-giving dinner at the Hilton Hotel, the old Hilton, on the beach. Fell asleep, missed it all. Peter Gregg had pretended to be ill during the race.
Suddenly.
But miraculously reappeared on the podium with his brand new overalls, his brand new Wellington boots, and looked pretty good on the podium. Arrived at Jochen Neerpasch, who was the team manager, said to Brian, "Oh, Brian," the next day, he said, "Oh, Brian, you missed a wonderful prize giving." And Peter Gregg was so wonderful, he spoke so well.
So eloquently about his great victory, huh?
Brian's never got over it.
Got a driver change there on the 6 car.
Yeah, Bob, that's A.J. Allmendinger who's going to finish it out in the 6 car just a couple hours ago. This car was right up there fighting for the victory until Brian Frizzell started having some troubles on the racetrack. It's now looks to be about 2 or 3 laps off the lead, but still running in 3rd place, and it's doing whatever it can to try and maintain that because I think we've got a level 5 car on that same lap.
Wow, so AJ's going to try to go all the way to the end in this car. That's a tall order.
Well, he certainly put some heat in those rear tires on that start, but as I say, you've got to temper temperature with caution, because so many cars had gearbox trouble this weekend.
This stretch of track is a fascinating place to stand. You see the people behind the fence there. Cars at full tilt coming through the Turn 2 complex and heading for the International Horseshoe are just rocketing along, and you get a sense of how well they stop. They just jump on those steel brakes.
You get a sense of how well they stop, and you get a sense of how fast racing cars go. Allmendinger being very careful with those cold tires. Temperatures are pretty low, in the 40s. Low 40s if you take into account the wind chill, and he is making sure those tires are well and truly up to temperature before he starts legging it around this track. It'll probably take him 2.5 laps or more to get him. He won't get any heated until he hits the banking for the first time right here.
In fact, speaking of viewing the Rolex 24, you may have noticed not many folks up in the big grandstands here at Daytona International Speedway, because this is a road race, and road race fans like to get right down at trackside behind the Armco, where you can smell the cars at work as they go by. Allmendinger slots back into third place. There's the GT running order. We'll be back with more of our continuing speed coverage from Daytona. Here at Daytona International Speedway, a special section of the fan zone is reserved for some of the legendary cars that have raced here at the Rolex. That 54 Porsche 907 took Porsche to its first overall victory in the hands of this year's Grand Marshal, Vic Elford. Of course, Brumos Porsche, great name here in the hands of drivers like Peter Gregg and Hurley Haywood, who announced his retirement from this race with this weekend's event. It's hard to put the length of Hurley Haywood's career in perspective, but when you consider that our Grand Marshal Vic Elford had his greatest year in 1968, winning the Targa Florio, the Rolex 24, the Monte Carlo Rally, and so on. Just 3 years later, that man, Hurley Haywood, made his debut, and today he made his final appearance.
But he has done this race 37 times. During his career, he's picked up 5 overall wins here, 3 at Le Mans, 4 at Sebring, and he's won we used to have a race here called the Paul Revere, which is run on July the 4th weekend.
Yeah, now it's the
and he won that. And he won that 4 times as well. He's done something like 68,000 laps here, or 68,000 miles. I'm sorry, 68,000 miles.
And although their car is now out of the race, sadly, Hurley Haywood has made so many appearances. This week, he's driving with David Donahue. When he began in 1971, his father Mark Donahue was driving with
David Hobbs in the Ferrari 512, which
Roger
was
Penske.
Absolutely cleaning up big time until Mark got involved again in somebody else's crash on the banking at night. And of course, in those days, it really was at night. I mean, it was absolutely pitch dark out there.
No lights.
And he got hit by an errant Porsche 911, which is about 100 laps down, usual driver like that. And we stuck it all together with duct tape, about 1,000 yards of duct tape, and we still managed to come third. But it was very upsetting for Roger Penske and myself and Mark. And of course, there again, there was only just the 2 of us, Mark and me.
Here's our story up on the lead. Justin Wilson just 3.42 seconds ahead of Mike Rockenfeller. As everybody's hearts begin to beat just that little bit quicker as the seconds tick away. 2 hours, 45 minutes to go. Justin Bell has something for us.
So here the 66 TRG Porsche is in, and they actually had a pretty miserable middle of the night when they had an engine sensor issue that meant they had to keep coming in and trying to track it down, because it wasn't just a sensor giving a false reading, it was a sensor affecting the engine's performance. So like all these electrical or sensor gremlins, you have to kind of track your way through it. But now the car has been running the fastest, almost the fastest lap times of all these TRG cars. So a solid run. Andy Lally, I believe, is still in the car, and away they go. Very nice pit stop. But I do want to point something out, guys. Look at these down here. These are the lug nuts from the wheels that come off when they change the tires. Now, what has been happening in the pit lane is there have been missiles shooting down. I got almost hit with one on the side of my leg. A couple of the marshals have said they've been hit by them. And in all the safety things that Grand Am go through, one day one of these is going to go across the pit lane and someone's beautiful little girlfriend's going to have the side of her ear taken off. So when that happens, I'm sure they won't be allowed to roam around, but literally they've been going 200 feet down the road. So the pit lane is a dangerous place to be. That's why he's wearing a helmet. and I'm not.
I can't believe that they don't make them pick the lug nuts up.
I can't. They do. They pick them up, David, but they normally pick them up when there's chaos going on. So they're all the way out in the middle of the fast lane out there. So there is an accident waiting to happen. Mark my words.
Mark his words, Bob.
Well, that was
Justin has spoken.
One of the earliest rules of Grand Am, in the interest of cost containment and competition equalization, was those 5 lug wheels instead of the more expensive center locking wheels that we see in some other sports cars.
Well, the DP has the center locking wheel still.
The DPs do, yes. Yeah. I mean, I recognize that there is a reason. I'm not sure I entirely agree with it.
Well, of course, sometimes these reasons which are done for economy bring on unintended consequences. I mean, it happens in all sorts of facets of life, and that could be one of them.
Of course, that's the way the NASCAR series run. They have 5 lug wheels, and we've all seen them go flying in all directions when the teams do those incredible 13-second pit stops. There's one of the Stevenson Camaros, the topless version. That's the 97 car.
He thinks it's a hot Florida day.
One look at the way the fans are bundled would dispel that notion. Just trying to get to the end, I think, is the category into which the 97 car, in the hands of driver Günther Schalding. There's Joe Foster in the Mazda, the number 40 for Dempsey Racing. So how similar is this Mazda purpose-built race car to Mazda's street car? Let's hear from Chris.
Well, guys, as you're talking about dollars and cents, let's talk about what these teams are going to have to do after they get away from the racetrack. They're going to essentially have to rebuild these entire cars. And for the Mazda guys, they're not going to have to do as much as maybe the Porsche or the Camaro guys. When you pull away this plastic here and look at the motor, this is essentially pretty close to the same motor that is in the GT car. This is a 2-rotor motor. That is a 3-rotor motor, and pretty small package in this little car here. The weight of that motor, about 250 pounds. And now the great thing about these Mazdas is just the amount of time that they can put on the racetrack, about 50 hours between rebuilds. And when you do a rebuild in one of these cars, it's not that expensive, only about $8,000. And what does that rebuild mean? Essentially what you're looking at here, this is the rotor housing, and what you'd have to rebuild is you get 3 new rotors and also the eccentric shaft, which is essentially the crankshaft. So only about 4 parts in one of those rebuilds. Now, John Doonan, you're in charge of the road racing program for Mazda. You got the win 2 years ago. Right now, we're kind of getting in that area where you're thinking you might get it this year. But early on in this race, those Porsches really were hitting hard, and they were leading this thing, and you guys were kind of falling back. Were you getting nervous?
Well, the whole race plays tricks on you, Chris. You know, it's a long race, and we knew when it was wet that they would have a distinct advantage. But, you know, the rotary engine is about the spirit and soul of Mazda, and kind of a never give up. So you go through this race, all the ups and downs. We were down in the night, and then the sun came up and things went our way. So we just got to wait out the clock here and continue to run our race. But, you know, this little engine is really defines who we are, and all of our dealers nationwide, kind of a never give up attitude in a tough economic climate.
Well, 2-lap lead right now. What does that mean with the time we've got left on the clock?
Well, I think Jonathan and Nick are going to bring it home for us, and it's just about running a set lap time each lap, staying out of trouble. The spotters up top are calling them through every lap, and just, you know how it is. You're a driver. You listen to every single sound the car makes, and you just want to let your heart rate maintain itself and stay the course.
Well, it sounds like there might be some sounds coming out of the 71 car. What are you guys seeing?
Well, they can breathe a little bit easier because the 71 second place car in class was having problems, and there's the 01 second place car of Justin Wilson and the Ganassi team headed for the garage. This is huge. There's the 71, equally huge, another second place car on the hook.
Wow. So second place in each class being towed away.
Spencer Pompelli at the wheel.
No smoke or anything coming out of it, and then to our astonishment, and then we saw the 01 car being driven straight into the garage, or freewheeling into the garage area. Now, it might be something they want to get a whole gang of guys on to do in a hurry, a big change, but obviously totally unscheduled.
They have already fallen a lap down to Mike Rockefeller. Listen up to the sounds of the engine. Can't get a gear.
Gearbox. Listen to them rattling around in there.
Left thumb on the radio saying, boys, we have a problem. Oh, I think that's pulling off the racetrack, not bits of the gear cluster.
Oh.
Well, that is bad news.
Boy, oh boy.
Meanwhile, over in the Ganassi garage, as you mentioned, people jumping on that car.
They've got the front. They seem to have got the front off.
They had the back off as well. There's Chip Ganassi watching.
And now the back off, they're putting it back, so whatever was underneath it.
Brake master cylinders? Or
Putting it all together again.
what would affect both the front and back? Watching the 01, running in first place at the time, and then it suddenly
slows up.
Well, he couldn't have found a better place right at pit in.
Boy, oh boy, he could not.
Rockefeller did a great job to juke to his right and evade the suddenly slowing 01 that immediately turned behind the wall. I'm sure behind those white tents you'll see a lot of Ganassi uniforms on the dead run headed for the garage area.
And he's obviously got power because he drove in that last bit. He's not being pushed in, so
And now
he's
here he
got
comes
power.
back out just like that. Chris Neville.
I'm with Scott Pruitt. Scott, what's going on with the 01 car?
I don't know. I just came over here, so I'm going to find out right now.
Okay, I was also trying to get something from Tim Keene, and Tim said that Justin came through the bus stop. He said he heard something pop in the car, and it kind of wandered around the racetrack, so that's why he came immediately to pit lane. But the team said they checked it over. They couldn't find anything.
Wow. Well, he obviously had power, as you pointed out, David. He obviously had braking.
Well, maybe he ran over something in the bus. Hard to tell. And it made him see him swerving the car there. Obviously got to put some heat back in the tires now before he really gives it some welly. But maybe he just heard a noise, and to be on the safe side, thought they'd make a quick stop. But the speed at that 9 car with Mike Rockefeller, you know, you just don't have time to do that sort of precautionary stop.
Well, they are over a lap down now to that man, right? Mike Rockefeller, and the improbable race leader, the number 9 Porsche V8 powered Riley. Let's get more on the Ganassi situation with Chris.
Yeah, Tim Keene talking to his engineers, looking at the telemetry. Tim, you said that Justin said he heard a pop and the car wandered around the racetrack. Any idea what's going on?
No, we couldn't find anything. We took it straight to the garage. We think maybe he just ran over something that he didn't see. He said it kind of wandered. Maybe something got stuck on the tire and then it blew it off. So we're just going to see him. He's getting up to speed now. I hear the 9 car maybe having some problems in coming in, so I haven't heard him say anything on the radio, so maybe we got lucky.
Okay, so now as he's getting up to speed, he's saying the car is working fine.
He hasn't said anything, so I'm assuming that it is. He's up to speed.
Okay, well, these guys hoping that it was just a fluke and everything is okay with that Telmex machine.
And if Tim Keene is right that there are problems on the 9 car, the plot is thickening quickly here in the closing hours of the Rolex 24. Now we think the 9 may be coming in. Justin Wilson shown 2 laps down now. We'll see what transpires with the 9. He's only 17 laps since his last pit stop.
Yeah, and he's coming in too.
So this would be unscheduled.
Well, perhaps they feel they can make an unscheduled stop as they've just seen the other car do the same thing. Is he going to go into the garage too?
Nope.
No.
Well, let's keep an eye on what they do. Maybe, as you say, David, they're just going to take a preemptive pit stop just to check things over for this final blast.
And they may be going to just change their pattern here on their fuel run.
Right.
And try and make this down to just how much time we got left. They could get this down to maybe just 2 runs.
Just go to
and
2
a
or
real
3 stops.
quick
Yep.
splash and go.
Rich on fuel, maximum power, pull out all the stops. There's Wilson up on the banking. Chris Neville, what can you add?
Well, one of the mechanics did reach into the back of the engine bay with a can of WD-40 and was spraying the throttle linkage. So I'm assuming that throttle in this car is getting a bit sticky. Now you think all the hours that we've been running, all the debris getting thrown up in that engine bay, all those parts not working the way they were back at 3 o'clock yesterday. So that car, it looks to be dealing with a little bit of a sticky throttle.
Oh, man.
This is not a great place to have a sticking throttle. And, of course, all that rain to start with washes everything down, washes the lubricants off to a certain extent. And in this place, you know, when you go off the track here, it's very sandy. And, of course, that ultimately gets everywhere in all the bearings and in the discs and in the engine compartment. And if anything's going to get stuck, it's likely to.
Saw headlights flashing on the 01. A signal, perhaps, from Justin Wilson to the crew that things are okay. Right now he's got GT traffic in front of him, and just ahead of that traffic, there he goes. Rockefeller in the number 9, so Wilson can get back on the lead lap if he can get to the 9 and pass him. Through the kink comes Rockefeller, the German. Here comes Wilson, the Englishman. So confident in his own skills, he once sold shares in himself, bonds if you will, to raise the money to get a drive in Formula One, to be repaid.
Yeah,
out of any
Rockefeller's slowing right up too.
Yep.
Look,
being passed by that crippled 97 GT car.
Well, guys, let's remember that Rockefeller is also on cold tires that they just changed here in pit lane. Takes about 2-3 laps for those to come up to temperature and pressure.
The first time you get any temperature in them is right here on the banking for the first time. That's true.
Still, it must be eating at Rockefeller that he had to let his rival go by and make up that lap.
Terribly galling, but there's nothing you can do about it. There's no point trying to press the issue too, because you just get no grip at all. Now this is bad. He's getting held up by a couple of GT cars down into the bus stop. Doesn't want to go pushing his luck through here, going around the outside. There's too much junk there. See the car giving a big twitch there on those cold tires. Up onto the banking now. This will get some more heat in the tires as he comes down to turn 1 on the brakes.
Well, at the top of our program yesterday, 22 hours or so ago, we asked the question, will we get a finish as close as last year? 1/10 of a second? We might well. 2 leaders on the same lap here at the Rolex. Don't go away. Welcome back. 2 hours, 28 minutes, 45 seconds and counting remaining in the 48th running of the Rolex 24 at Daytona, live here on Speed. I'm Bob Varsha with David Hobbs, Chris Neville and Justin Bell down in the pit lane. And we have a spectacular finish in store, it would appear. There's Justin Wilson, who made a precautionary stop in the Ganassi garage. A very conservative racer is Justin, very gentle on the machinery, which may explain why he decided, if I have any question at all about this car, I better take it to the garage right now and get the boys to look it over before we begin this 2.5-hour blast to the finish, with Scott Pruitt going for his 4th overall win in this race and 9th all-time win at the controls.
Bob, looking at that outlap that Mike Rockefeller had, that was about 25 seconds off the pace because of the cold temperatures, and that's what we've been hearing from some of these crew chiefs. And I kind of thought about the 01 situation, and I went back over to Tim Keenan and I said, you know, Tim, with you guys being in the garage and here in pit lane, would it have been better to stop back in the box on your way back out, do tires and fuel to try and get yourself in a position to not have to come back to pit lane one more time? And he said, you know what, thinking about it, that probably would have been better because we would have saved that outlap time, in and out lap time. But because of the language that Justin used over the radio when he came through the bus stop, he said, it blew up, it blew up. So the team was kind of frantic, dealing with everything back in the garage, that they didn't think to come back out on pit lane and put fuel in the 01 car and also fresh tires.
Well, it probably tells you everything you need to know about the Rolex 24 competition these days, that after, what, 21.5 hours, they're talking about the problems of a 25-second lap, or 25 seconds longer than it should have taken. Now there's Nick Ham in the GT, leading Speed Source Mazda number 70. They've got a little more breathing space because just moments ago, the second place number 71 TRG Porsche stopped on track with what appeared to be a broken gearbox. So this team now has a almost 2.5 lap lead over their nearest rival in the Grand Touring category. Don't miss a minute of the remaining 2.5 hours here at the Rolex before we hand out the watches. Scott Pruitt will be last in for the Ganassi team.
I will never go buy a Rolex. Hey, it never gets old wearing a Rolex, so I'll take as many as I can get.
They don't give any out for second places, so it's a pretty looking watch, and I would definitely like one.
I won in class of '92, and I got a trucker hat that said Rolex on it.
I've told Mike we're not buying Rolexes. We are going to win one together.
Don't miss the next round of the Grand Am Rolex Sports Car Series, the Grand Prix of Miami from Homestead Miami Speedway, Saturday, March 6th, 5 p.m. Eastern, only here on Speed. And when you consider that entire race is about the length of time we have remaining in this event, you get some sense of the enormity of the Rolex 24 at Daytona. There's the number 55 Crown Royal car. Emanuele Collard pulled it over just a moment ago with a fire underneath. Here he is into turn one.
Oh boy, I mean, racing luck is a very important part of success in racing. That could not have happened at a worse time. Why couldn't that have happened quarter of a mile before, and he could have pulled into the pit area and had it looked at, instead of which he's going to pull off on the side here, and the car is going to have to be retrieved. They've had a pretty checkered race. They've been up and down, showing a lot of speed. Almost that front splitter's had a good clip again. Well, so he's pulled off on the exit of the International Horseshoe.
I suppose if you were a bit cynical, you might suggest, if my car is going to go kerblamo, why doesn't it do it in the first hour and I can get around to golf in?
Well, of course, that was always my big motto: break for God's sake before dinner.
What was the story about Graham Hill and Jochen Rindt, was it? And they didn't want to run the 24 hours?
It was not Graham Hill, but it was Jochen Rindt, yeah. And they thought, no, the last thing we want to do is this 24-hour race. And they thrashed the heck out of their Ferrari 250 LM. And then suddenly, about 12 or 13 hours in, they thought, oh my God, we really, they were leading by that.
We can win this thing.
We can win this thing. And they did.
Please don't break. Please don't
break now. And they tried to break it for the first
I'm so sorry. Well, same kind of thoughts might be going through Mike Rockenfeller's head. He's made what appeared to be the preemptive pit stop once his rival Justin Wilson had a problem.
Well, I think they made a stop then to readjust their last three stints. Probably. The lap time. Mike Rockenfeller, last lap, with a 1:44.3. Justin Wilson, a 1:42.8. But of course, Rockenfeller may have had traffic, we don't know.
Other than road grit and bits of rubber off the tires, there really isn't a scar on this car. And that's what it takes to win the Rolex 24. That LBP you see on the engine cover, Porsche V8 by LBP. That's Lozano Brothers Porting. I believe they're in Texas. They build these Cayenne-based Porsche V8 engines for the two cars in this race that have been using them. And as improbable as it might have seemed at the beginning of this race, they might just win it. There's the 67, former series champ Jörg Bergmeister. Second place car in the class. But 5 laps down now to the class leading Mazda of Nick Ham.
Yeah, this car, well, most of the cars here have had an up and down race. The GT class in particular, the two Mazdas were on the front, and the Chevrolets, the Camaros were down in like 12th spot. Then before you can say 9th, it rains. The Camaros come rocketing through to lead pretty handsomely. The 57 car looking very, very strong. The Mazda's dropping by the wayside. The pole-sitting Mazda finally crashed into the fence at the International Horseshoe, reappeared, came back, reappeared, got back up in the field again. Meanwhile, the 67 car's been in the lead, out of the lead, and it's been a very, very incredibly arduous battle for the GT cars.
71 car led, then blew the gearbox. In other words, you're pretty typical Rolex 24.
Yeah, I guess so, really, yeah.
We now have a new record all-time for lead changes in this race. 53 thus far, with 2 hours and 18 minutes to go. Andy Lally still handling that 66 TRG Porsche.
Now in third place in GT class, the 71 car of Spencer Pumpelly that was lying second in the class to Nick Ham has dropped by the wayside. We saw him coming. They already filled it up once in the paddock area. Then they drove into the paddock area with a gearbox problem. The 6 car, AJ Allmendinger at the wheel, only 1 lap out of second spot. Allmendinger also driving very hard. His last lap, a 1:42.7. Justin Wilson's a 1:42.0, and Mike Rockefeller a 1:42.4. So all these guys separated by just a few tenths. Max Angelelli's last lap was a 41.8. So he is, again, the number 10 car is the quickest car out on the track, but unfortunately for him, he's down in 8th spot. 43 laps behind. So since we came on the air at 7 o'clock, they have picked up a couple of laps, but they need to pick them up quicker than that.
There's Wayne Nonemaker, 14th overall, and right now shown 5th in GT, but they're going to pick up a spot because the car still ahead of them on the timing and scoring screen is the number 71, which is out of the race with a broken gearbox. So in a few more laps, it will pick up a position on the track. There you go. Porsche, BMW, Mazda. Welcome to GT racing.
Yeah, the 94 car we're looking at there with Joey Hand at the wheel in the first stint in the rain. Again, also rocketed through the field to take the lead. Looking very, very strong. And then Bill Arbelin, another old-time BMW driver, very, very successful driver over many years now for BMW. Kept it in the lead, but they gradually had one little problem after another, and currently they are down in 18th spot overall.
Threading the needle in the chicane. Back up onto the NASCAR oval.
Going to see a lot of action. You're going to see a lot of pictures like this over the next 2 weeks as Speed Weeks takes hold, and ending in the Daytona 500 just a couple of weeks today. It's going to be a busy old time down here at Daytona.
That shot gives you a feeling for the speed differential between the GT cars and the Daytona prototypes, as Justin Wilson just drives around the GT traffic. About 10 seconds a lap quicker are the DPs than the GTs, and the GTs are quick.
Well, of course, the DP's picking up really in handling, especially in braking. On acceleration, some of the GT cars are almost as quick as the DP cars. So you've got to catch them at the right place.
Justin Wilson, nearly a second a lap faster than the man ahead of him in the running order, Mike Rockefeller. So the true Brit trying to make a battle of it as we get into the last couple of hours. Fastest man on the track, no surprise here, Max Angelelli in the pole-sitting number 10 SunTrust Daytona prototype, now shown in 8th place, but about 40 laps down after a litany of troubles. The Rolex 24 at Daytona is brought to you by Pirelli. Power is nothing without control. Back on a breezy, overcast day at Daytona International Speedway, now down to 2 hours, 10 minutes remaining in this twice around the clock marathon. Approximately 25 of the 45 entries are still running here as we get close to the final couple of hours to decide who will etch his names in the record book alongside the sports legends and win those coveted Rolex watches. There's Richard Westbrook in the number 95. Crown Royal car, 4th place, 3 laps down to race leader Mike Rockenfeller. Rockenfeller leads Justin Wilson by a lap. A.J. Allmendinger in 3rd, another lap down, then another lap down to this man, Westbrook.
These two cars, the 95 and the 55, have really had a pretty outstanding start to the season, I think, one way or another. The 55 car, unfortunately, has been just sidelined, and they've had a lot of little niggling problems, but not really a bad start to the season, and then a very, very strong driver lineup in both cars.
Well, we haven't talked about the 99, the Gainsco Bob Stallings racing car that has finished second in this race in the past, but has had such a fraught weekend. There it sits forlornly in the garage, no one around paying much attention to it. Let's get the story with Chris Neville.
Yeah, Bob, they call it the Red Dragon. It's won races, it's won championships, but right now it's not the fire-breathing dragon we usually see. It looks pretty tired, it looks pretty sad, and right now it's just Kyle Brennan, the team engineer down here. Your drivers have left, your team owner has left. What finally took you out of the race?
Well, unfortunately, the Gainsco car was running pretty good. We were hanging in there. You never know what happens in the last 5 hours of the race or 4 hours. But unfortunately, it looks like we lost the belt on the oil pump, and the oil pressure went to 0. When that happens, you don't go for very long. And so that was it for us.
It's been such a tough week for you guys with the big accident on Thursday, and this race has just been so hard for you guys. You guys have had so many wins, the 2 championships. What is it about Daytona that you guys just can't get over the hump?
Yeah, boy, we don't know. The guys particularly had a real rough time, and they worked their asses off. They essentially did 2 all-nighters between the crash and the race, and man, we come here in the wintertime. We can win races all year long, but there's something about this place in the winter that is tough for us.
Well, it might be tough for them, but every year they come out so strong, they start winning races, and they're always a contender for this championship.
That they are, Chris, but as I said earlier in the broadcast, this is the race they most want to win. We'll take you back to Thursday in the accident. Jimmy Johnson collided with a GT car, backed the car into the tire wall, took the blame solely upon himself, did everything he could to help repair the car, including sending his personal jet to go get the parts. The crew jumped on the car, tore off the entire back of the car from the firewall backward, fabricated an entirely new back on that car, reinstalled engine, gearbox. It took until 4 o'clock Friday morning. They got out there, started 15th and last among the Daytona prototypes, led at various points throughout the race before they started suffering problems. There you see, things are pretty quiet around the Gainsco hauler. As Chris mentioned, the drivers have probably left. In fact, I think I just saw Jimmy Johnson's jet taking off from the Daytona Beach International Airport next door.
Yeah, well, that's the story of 24-hour racing. I mean, that's what it's like. You fight and fight and fight, and sooner or later, you've ultimately just got to give up. Now, the 9-car leader at the moment just did a couple of very slow laps. I thought he might be in trouble, but his last lap was right back on pace again. He did a 42.3, although Justin Wilson and A.J. Allmendinger, who are right behind him, did a 41.9 and a 41.8 respectively. So they are going just a little bit quicker than him, but they're going to have to go a lot quicker than him to just flat wind him in. But of course, all it takes is one slip, and they'll be right there.
And that slip could come in the pits. I think the other thing we heard from Kyle Brennan there was the frustration that he and the team are feeling, and the fact that they just can't seem
it is frustrating
to get this race in the bag.
And long distance races like that. The year I drove for Roger Penske in '71, we had the best car, the Ferrari 512. We were on the pole and led every one of the 4 races we did: Daytona, Sebring, Le Mans, and the Watkins-Glen 6-hour, and we never finished one of them without some major issue. Twice, unfortunately, Mark got involved in accidents, which didn't exactly help. At Le Mans, the engine blew. Totally unexpected. I mean, there's just no way that Ferrari engine should have blown up. And at Watkins-Glen, the steering post broke when he was about at 45 seconds in the lead. So, I tell you, none of these races are over till they're over. Including for these guys. I mean, they've still got 2 hours and 5 minutes to go, which is still a respectable race distance.
If they can hold on and claim this victory, what an upset it will be against the well-funded and highly organized and experienced teams like Ganassi and Gainesco and Brumos. And that man's team, there's Wayne Taylor in the SunTrust Racing pits. David and I are going to take a break. The Three Amigos will be up next.
The true champions are the ones that you would never realize it. They're not cocky. There's a strength to their personality. There's a humbleness to them. There's a quiet confidence in their stride. And there's just a twinkle that they know they're good. You certainly look at Jimmy Johnson and what he's done over the years. And it should have won several years ago prior to what he should be winning a couple more championships. There's something about him, and last year watching him, the pressure that was on him, there's that confidence, there's that place that you find in yourself. There's a piece there that they have, and that's, you got to admire that.
You have to admire what Patrick Dempsey is doing as well, as we say welcome back to the Rolex 24 at Daytona. Lee Diffie along with Calvin Fish and Dorsey Schrader, and Patrick Dempsey in his Dempsey Racing Mazda RX-8, currently 17th overall and 8th in class. So a top 10 and a finish here will do them well. I'm sure they wanted to be at least in the top 5, but still, Patrick knows just how much of a grind and how grueling this classic endurance event is. If you're just turning on, welcome to Speed's continual live coverage. This is the overall leader and the Daytona prototype leader, Mike Rockenfeller. For the Action Express V8 powered Porsche Riley, this team under this guise is on debut. It's far from a rookie effort because it's manned by Brumos staff and highly experienced drivers. This is going to be a really, really interesting story. The margin is about 1 minute and 20 from this car to the second place Ganassi BMW of Justin Wilson, with 2 hours exactly remaining. Can the Ganassi car reduce that deficit, get back in front? Will we have an arm wrestle to the end? Or will this number 9 go all the way to victory lane? We'll talk more about that in a moment, but for now, let's get it to Chris Neville.
Well, it's nice to see you guys are back in the booth, and I hope you brought me a coffee from Starbucks. Your nice little trip over there I heard all about. But back over in the garages, and last night we took a walk through the garage and saw how organized everything was as the teams were preparing for this to essentially be the hospital for these cars. But now, after 22 hours, it's just strewn with parts. We're over in the TRG car area, and the 63 car just was pushed out of here. The 71 car, this car has been leading for so long. We saw Bobby Labonte run out of fuel on the racetrack. They got him going again, once again running up near the lead, but now it's up in the air. The team working feverishly underneath the car, and Spencer Pompelli watching his crew try and get this car back out on the racetrack. Spencer, what is going on with the 71 car?
Yeah, we lost the center of the clutch, and without that, we don't have any drive happening out on the track going through the banking. And, thinking about the whole race we ran last night, early in the wet, I mean, the guys just did a really good job. Made a couple mistakes here and there, but we always seem to be able to claw our way back into it and be in contention. And then our guests, Bobby, Timo, and Romain, and then Tim, of course, did an awesome job too. So we had really good effort from everyone. It's just disappointing this happened.
Disappointing it happened. The guys still working. Are they going to be able to get it back out on the racetrack?
I think in about 15 minutes we'll be back out, but of course we don't have a shot at the win like we wanted.
Not a shot at the win, but you still have the championship ahead of you. And how important is that to get back out there and try and get those points for this season ahead?
With a lot of carnage on track right now and a lot of people missing a lot of laps, I think it'll be very important for us to get back on track. I think we can still salvage a top 10 finish if last time I looked, if everything was correct. I'm not sure what lap they're on right now, but we're ahead of a lot of cars as we sit right now, so it'll be very important for the season.
This crew not giving up.
Lee, you know what all that stuff was? Money.
Yeah.
And a lot of it.
A lot of it.
Tremendous effort to make this 24-hour race, and for Kevin Buckler and his group, 5 cars is tremendous. And when you see that machine right there, you got to wonder where Brian is. It looks like he left his helmet behind.
He could be in the thing. You never know.
So the rundown for you is Rockenfeller and Wilson. We told you about that minute and a quarter, minute 20 seconds. Then Allmendinger maintains third. Here's your second place car in Wilson. Lucas Luer 4, Ricardo's on to 5, and Negri 6th.
Trying to work out here the pit strategy. I think these Ganassi boys need to get about another 4 or 5 minutes out of this run to then be able to do it on one more following that. So if they're able to squeak 5 more minutes on this fuel run, they'll be on a 2-stop strategy to get to the finish, as will the 9. But the 9 may be able to run a little bit richer fuel mixture because they're going to be looking at trying to make like a 50-minute stint on each load of fuel. These guys need to get about 56.
In any event, we're in the time of the race now where a yellow flag could really change complexion of the
Oh yeah, that's what these guys need desperately, and they need it before they pit. They need to be right in the position they are. They don't want to be a full lap down and then see that yellow come out. They need it whilst they're still on the lead lap.
Speaking of margins between first and second, it's looking pretty good at the moment as far as our GT category. Nick Ham in the Speed Source Mazda RX-8 is 7th overall, and Nick and his team boast a 3-lap lead over the TRG Flying Lizard Porsche of Jorg Bergmeister. Jorg is 2nd in class, 9th overall, but the 3 laps look pretty good for Nick.
Well, this is a great performance by Nick and the whole crew, of course, but for Nick Ham, he has to be somewhat gutted by the decision made by Sylvain Tremblay. Yes, Jonathan Bomarito is a great new talent to bring on board, but for Nick Ham, he sat on the pole 5 times last year. He's still a race winner in this car, so it's a pretty harsh move for them to move Nick aside, and I know he's taken it very well. There's talk of him maybe being a mentor for some of the young drivers on the Mazda ladder scheme, but for Nick Ham to be a full-time GT driver, then be sitting on the sideline, Dorsey, it's going to be tough for him to sit and watch.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be honest about it. There's not a lot of opportunity out there for him to leave this team and go to another team. There just isn't any rides available like that, particularly rides that pay. You know, I mean, he could probably go with some money and buy a ride, but Nick's a professional race car driver. That's not how it works.
Nick's age and perhaps image may not suit what the marketing staff at Mazda or Castrol may not fit, but the guy is still very fast in a race car.
He does a great job, and if it is his last full-time seat for the season, it'd be great to see him score a victory here in the big one.
I mean, he's been doing this a long time. He was my teammate, as a matter of fact, many years ago in Firestone Firehawk. Yeah, he's over.
Third place car is sent.
Not as old as I am, but still not.
AJ just laid down his fastest lap of the race at 141.6 a couple of laps prior to that start, so he's got the hammer down, but they are in catch-up mode. They were right in the hunt for overall victory here today, but right now, a couple of laps down or so, they need help.
Well, that's an important part, Calvin. We can underscore that it's not over and out for the 6. If there is a hiccup or a slip for the 9 and the 01, they're only a couple of laps down.
And throw in the 95 as well, because Lucas Luhr's only in that same category. The top 4 cars are definitely within the ability to win this race, given anything going wrong.
I can tell you that Scott Pruitt, here he is, right on cue, is standing by. Kent Holden, the crew chief, in the foreground there, just getting ready. Trevor and Tyler and the rest of the team, and Timmy Keane, who run this 01 car all year long, ready to roll, and Chris is standing by.
And Justin Wilson hits his marks. Scott Pruitt going to get behind the wheel. Now, guys, this is something I talked about with David and Bob a little bit earlier, that Scott Pruitt has had just 2 hours of rest now, and now he's going to finish this race about another 2 hours behind the wheel. We've seen Scott Pruitt do some amazing things over his career. We saw him get back in the car after that massive wreck at New Jersey, and he drove fantastic. But this is a long race. It's a grind. And the thing is, he's got to go up against a much more fresh Joao Barbosa at the end of this race, because Joao is going to be behind the wheel in the 9 car. So it's going to be interesting to see, is Scott ready for that fight? Or could that be something that leads to how this race is going to finish out?
Now, the good news is the temperature is so low, it won't be draining from the standpoint of being overheated. It's 52 degrees outside, but I just drove over here from my motor coach. It feels like it's 38 or 40 degrees. The wind is really biting out there.
They're going to be really tight on fuel. I mean, they've been running about a 33-lap stint, and they may be within a minute or 2 shy of doing this on just 1 more stop, so they're going to have to be very careful with their strategy here. Hard to get a read on that last stop, because Justin Wilson, of course, made that unscheduled stop, took the car to the garage, and they didn't top him back up, so that was only like a 24, 26-lap run, but this next one is critical.
Big talking point is, why did Justin Wilson come in? What was it that triggered him and to make that decision? He can tell us right now.
Justin, that was a great run in the car. The car looks very strong, but during that stint about a half an hour ago, you brought it back to the garage. What exactly happened out on the racetrack?
Well, it's very odd. I came out of the bus stop and I heard a loud clonk and the car kind of wagged. So I thought I'd blown a front tire or something like that. And being that close to the pits, we decided to dive in the pits and check everything over. But it seems fine. The team think it might be a broken front roll bar, but the balance is there, so the Telemex 01 car is quick, and we'll just keep pushing, see if we can force that 9 car into a mistake.
How much debris is out on the racetrack?
There's a lot of carbon fiber out there, and yeah, every couple of laps you're trying to dodge that on the straights, and yeah, it's pretty tricky.
This late in the race, you guys as drivers, how tired are you?
I don't feel too bad. Obviously, that last stint, I was pushing pretty hard, so yeah, I won't want to do another stint right now. I'm quite happy to let Scott, take it to the checker flag.
Scott's only had 2 hours of rest. Do you think he's going to have it for the finish here?
I didn't know that.
He's hoping, guys.
Well, you saw the 9 flash by earlier while that driver change was being executed. So the 01 is now down a lap. So Scott's trying to regain that here side by side with AJ Allmendinger.
Should go to Scott when they get down to the brake zone. Well, no, you know what, Scott, let him go.
Well, he's on cold tires, remember. We're seeing these drivers really fighting with these cars, trying to get the tire temps up, getting the pressures up. And we literally see the GT cars driving around the Daytona prototypes when they're on cold tires. So you have to be careful. Even though they're in a severe race here, they have to be careful on these opening laps.
Pretty much one clean line. That's it. Around the 3.5 miles of the Daytona road course. We'll be back. Sights and sounds of the Grand Am Rolex Sports Car Series and the Rolex 24 historical shots. Why were they historical? Because there was sunshine in them. Certainly nothing that we have seen in the last day here at the World Center of Racing. It's been pretty gloomy weather. Yesterday was certainly a lot warmer than what today is, even with the rain. And so it's going to be a cold last hour and 3/4, the run home to crown 2 class champions, an overall winner. Will it be this one? Action Express Racing, Mike Rockenfeller, Joao Barbosa, Terry Borchella, and Ryan Dial. Barbosa and Borchella will be the full-time partners in season 2010. That's the young guns, Rockenfeller and Dial, who have been very, very impressive. I can tell you, though, I saw during the commercial break, the Portuguese driver, Barbosa, is kitted up. He is suited up, helmet on, and he is ready to take the final stint.
And Rocky has just done a tremendous job here today. Did an awesome stint, and Ryan Dial got behind the wheel, got them back out front. They've stuck Rocky in here for a quick one to have their freshest horse. I spoke to Mike Colucci. He said, we learned last year when we put David Donahue behind the wheel, that was the right move. A nice fresh driver, had plenty of rest, and that's what they've done with Barbosa. We know it's not the Brumos car, but certainly under the same awning, the new Action Express team on debut, looking for a win.
I've been talking to that team all week long about how's that car coming, what's the development like, what's that motor like. They've been kind of secretive. They really haven't stood up and told me anything other than the fact that they had some developmental problems as far as the center of gravity of the V8 being different and the setup being different, but I could tell it was good. I could tell right away they weren't wanting to tell me it was as good as it is.
And they have more engine developments on the way. They didn't want to bring them here to the 24-hour race. Obviously, you need a finish, but for the sprint races, I think you're going to see more power coming out of that V8-powered Porsche.
Let's talk about the 41 Dempsey Racing Mazda. It's an interesting quartet here with Lee Keane, James Gouet, and those guys will be the full-time drivers this year. Don Kitch Jr. and Canadian Dave Lacey. So a very interesting foursome. Let's go to that camp now. Justin has more.
Yes, Michael, you've had so many years of experience in long-distance racing sports cars. Here you are with the first time a 2-car effort for Dempsey. Not gone exactly the way you want, but still I think tomorrow morning you'll think it was a strong effort.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously expanding from a 1-car to a 2-car team is a big step, especially when the first race is a 24-hour race. And the cars have run well, not without their problems, but we'll get a good result and both cars will come home. But the biggest winner in all this has got to be the Seattle Children's Hospital. You know, we've raised nearly $400,000 for the hospital, which is, I think, a record, and especially in these economic times. I'm just thrilled to bits about that. So we'll start the year and come out of here with some points, and then Lee and James can chase the championship along with Joe and Patrick. And I think you'll see us get stronger and stronger as the year runs on.
So do we. Thank you, Michael. Guys?
All those pictures on the side of the door right there, Calvin, those are all pictures of people that donated to that effort. And up atop on top of the roof, there's names of people who could have a signature edition, if you will.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool program, and they have a new benefactor this year. John Graham and his wife Jerry have contributed $5 million to this program. They own Marine Salvage and Oil based in Seattle, and one of his children was actually in the Seattle Children's Hospital many years ago, so they've always had a keen interest in really helping to develop that. His eldest son now has Crohn's disease, but they've committed $5 million in an endowment over the next 5 years, and the key is to really try and build this hybrid cardiac surgical suite, which is really imperative to the progress of that hospital, and it will really be state-of-the-art stuff.
I think if I wanted my picture on the car and was going to donate, I would want it at Daytona somewhere other than the door. A safer area might be.
Want it to be around at the end.
It's the 13th year for Team Seattle at the Rolex 24. You may remember they took last year off to have a special year at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, but they're back in their groove where they feel at home here at the Rolex 24. And we mentioned the Seattle Children's Hospital. Let's not forget about the Patrick Dempsey Center for Cancer, Hope and Healing up in Maine as well. And thank you to everyone who has been involved in that program.
Well, look at Rocky right there. Was way offline coming out of that chicane. I don't know what happened. Maybe we'll see right here. Looked like he was in trouble for a moment when he, there's some brake lock up. That's what I saw. See, he's way out wide.
Yeah, and then he just releases the brake so he doesn't turn it around. That's why he ran out wide. So Rocky's still on the edge here. He's still pushing hard. And they realize that they want to keep this advantage because anything can happen here in the last couple hours. Still a long, long way to go.
Wondering if, Calvin, if the bar is broken on that car, do you see how much roll it's got in the chassis? Look at the nose height when he goes into a corner. It really had a pronounced amount of body roll.
We'll have a closer look at this car because Rockenfeller is due to come in. He's been out there for 29 laps. Here we go. Overall leader is in.
And they're doing shorter stints. They're running about 29, 30 laps, about 50 minutes or so, and that keeps them right on schedule for just one more stop without any drama after this one for Rocky.
And we can see Joao Barbosa getting over the wall. He's very rested up. He has had about 5.5 hours of rest. Justin and I saw him at breakfast this morning. He's a very quiet man. He just kind of turned to us and smiled, but he's a lion behind the wheel. So these guys very happy with what they've got there. And looking at the crew right now, they're up on the back deck, spraying WD-40 on the throttle linkage. This is something we saw on the last stop too when Mike Rockenfeller was behind the car. He was complaining that the throttle was sticking a bit. So this team once again spraying WD-40 back onto that throttle linkage, trying to get it to so it isn't sticky for the driver.
And that's Scott Pruitt back on the lead lap, down into turn one as the 9 is released at the hands of Joao Barbosa. So the race is on in earnest with an hour and 41 to go.
Now if a yellow comes out.
That's what they need. They got to be on that lead lap, get the yellow, stack everyone back up. The pace car would grab the leader, which would be Joao Barbosa, and Pruitt would go to the back of the line. So within this stint, Scott Pruitt has 7 laps on the board right now. They've been running right around 33 marks. So during the next 25 laps or so, the Ganassi team need help with a caution.
And God knows it could happen. There's all kind of reasons that could happen around here.
Barbosa took it to the line last year. He was in the 59 for Brumos Racing last year, and he finished 3rd. The Portuguese driver is a class winner here, back in the old GTS days in the Mosler. So he knows what victory lane here at Daytona is all about. We'll see if he can get the 9 there this time. Overall, we'll be back. The Pirelli race summary tells us the story of the 2010 Rolex 24 at Daytona and an event record 53 lead changes. And we've had 17 cautions for a total of 58 laps. The respective class leaders at the top there. There's exactly 1 minute 4 seconds between Joao Barbosa and the second place Scott Pruitt. This is your lead car, the V8 powered Porsche Riley for Action Express Racing. And one of the key ingredients to this successful run has been the 26-year-old German Mike Rockenfeller. Let's hear from Rocky.
And guys, he looks fresh down here. Mike, the number 9 car is very fast, but obviously there's some issues with that car at this point. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, when I got in the car, I mean, first of all, we have no clutch, so we cannot, how you call it, disconnect it, right? So it's always in gear. That's okay, you can drive with it. We start on the starter here in the pit lane, that's no big issue. But then the throttle sticks all the time now. So, I mean, that's the two worst things at the same time, because you go down the straight, you lift, and the thing is pushing. You cannot downshift, and you cannot push the clutch. So, I mean, I had a few times where I almost went straight, and I tried to keep as long as I could out on the track. In traffic, it was just really horrible, because when you outbrake someone on the limit and the thing is pushing you, I was really careful, and it was not easy. I hope we fixed it with one more spring on the throttle.
Yeah, the team was spraying WD-40 on what looked to be the throttle linkage, so that hopefully that's helping. I also saw Gary Nelson and you talking and holding a throttle body. Does it look like the team might have to go that far and put a new throttle body on the car?
No, I don't think so. We were just not sure if it comes from the paddle box or if it comes from the engine, right, from the throttle itself. So we didn't know. I had to guess, and I thought it's from the engine because the throttle came back all the time. So we hope it's fixed. We will see. I hope so, and hopefully there's no more yellow.
Well, it's always amazing at this point in time how hard these guys are pushing, still doing 42s out there and talking about all the problems with the car. Now, Calvin, you said you had a question for Mike?
Yeah, just saying the fabric in that hat looks pretty nice and cozy.
Calvin said something like the fabric in your hat looks nice and cozy. Is this code for something?
The fabric on my hat? Yeah, it looks good. I mean, Kelvin and I, we have a little bet going on. So this hat is made out of a great fabric, and that's why I wear it.
$50 each, we're even.
A reason why he's got his Audi jacket on is he is still a contracted Audi driver. Mike Rockenfeller always entertaining. Pretty interesting on the previous lap, though. Scott Pruitt was 4 seconds faster than Joao Barbosa. Joao coming to grips with these cold tyres and the conditions that Mike Rockenfeller just explained inside the number 9 Daytona prototype. That last lap, though, from Barbosa, much closer. He was just a second slower than Pruitt, but the margin continues to go down. There's exactly 90 minutes to run here in the 2010 Rolex 24 at Daytona. It's the opening round of the 12-round series for Grand Am this year. So there's not just a Rolex wristwatch at stake, there's also valuable championship points. Quite often we've seen prominent teams not do so well here and have to play catch-up for the rest of the year. Our next round is at Homestead Miami Speedway. We work all the way through the year, through till September, at Miller Motorsports Park. We welcome you back. We know that many of you turn on at various times. We've had some pretty interesting stories. We do not have the race or the finish that we did last year, but there's still a story to be told. And this one, this car, the Adobe Road Porsche for TRG, has been the centerpiece of the GT story. Bobby Labonte has been in there, Spencer Pumpelly, Romain Dumas, Tim George Jr. and Timo Bernard. This car led for a long, long time in class. They've had fuel problems, they've had gearbox problems. It's been a pressureful time, but it's good to see that Kevin Buckler's boys have got this car back out on track.
Well, it's essential. They need to get the car back out there and score some points for any of the drivers that may do the complete season, but pulling out the center of that clutch, Dorsey, a couple of hours ago really took the heart out of this effort.
Yeah, you can't do anything when you spin the center out of the clutch. You got to pull the transaxle out or the engine out and then put the whole thing back together again, which they did. Get as many points as you can, but that was a winning car, there's no doubt. I mean, those guys had it up in the front most of the night and day.
Further back in class, we should give a shout out to Team Salem. Wayne Nonamaker, his brother Will, his father Joe, and team sponsor Joe Salem have put in a really good effort. 2 new cars for them. They're the old Speed Source Mazdas, but this is a terrific run for this family-based team. They're in the top 5 in class. They're actually running 4th in the 43 machine.
They've run really solid, too, Lee. I mean, you look at the car, it's not all beat to death. It's actually one of the better looking of the GT cars left out there.
They have a new team manager, as you mentioned earlier in the show. Lee J. Chapman's now on board. Has an extensive NASCAR background, and I think this team is going to really go from strength to strength this year with this new little Mazda, and I think they're just going to be in much better shape, a more competitive race car, and shaping things up with the race team. They could really surprise a few people, I believe.
And you know, it's got to be hard for the non-makers because they've switched from so many different types of cars. I mean, they've been all over the board with cars coming out of the Corvette now into this Mazda, which is very light. So, I mean, their learning curves must be pretty steep for them.
They have run Porsches over the years as well, back in what was then known as Grand Am Cup, which became Coney Challenge, which is now Continental Tire Challenge. Joe Foster for Dempsey Racing plugging on. We saw Mitch Padgery in the 23. He shares that car with our good friend Jack Baldwin, who's celebrating his 20th Rolex 24. That's quite the accomplishment.
And that's another car that led for quite a long time after having a big accident in the first practice session. Jack really would love to have had a podium or even a win here. It'd been great for him. He doesn't give up. I mean, he still loves his driving. There's no doubt about that.
Great cockpit shot there. Joe at work.
It's a funny angle. It makes him look like he's standing up real tall in the seat, but he really isn't. It's just our camera angle makes it look kind of awkward.
We had the interview with Mike Gouet earlier, who's now sort of like assumed leadership of the team from a managerial standpoint and will really take some of the emphasis off Joe Foster. He was really doing everything for that team in terms of driving the race car, chasing sponsorship, organizing everything, and I think this will really allow Joe to focus more on his driving on a race weekend, particularly once we get to the sprint season.
I didn't realize he was a mechanical engineer, which is confusing in its own right.
What does that mean?
You ever known any of those guys? No confusion, a heartbeat. How are you going to concentrate on your driving if you're a mechanical engineer?
Well, he did have a very full plate because he drove at coaches as well with the Mustangs out in at Miller Motorsport Park. So very, very busy. So hopefully the inclusion of Mike Gouet in that squad will certainly relieve some of that workload for Joe Foster. 56 seconds is the lead margin Joao Barbosa boasts over Scott Pruitt. Action Express Racing over Chip Ganassi Racing with Felix Sabates. And then AJ Allmendinger, Lucas Luer, Ricardo Zonta, yes, top 5, Oswaldo Negri and Max Angelelli. And then it's GT cars, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. The 99 Gainsco car has dropped to 16th. It's out of the race. It has retired. The 77 with Fabrizio Golan behind the wheel. The McDonald's Dallara for Doran Racing still charging around there. It's well down the order in 26th overall. But again, championship points to be had.
And how cool was it to see Memo Gidley lead this race in the early go and put in a tremendous opening stint when the conditions were at their worst. And that really says a lot about his ability to go out there, charge to the front, not make a mistake, and basically have the fastest car on the racetrack.
It made Kevin Durant smile too, and you don't see that all the time, do you? I mean, he was pretty happy to have his race car up front, as you should be, as he should be. Make no mistake about it. I think Scott Pruitt needs a caution really badly, you know, before the next fuel time.
Well, time's running out, particularly with the lap times that Joao Barbosa is laying down. He's equal to Scott Pruitt last time through. Both those drivers at 142.1. So right now, Scott Pruitt is not making up anything in terms of ground on Joao Barbosa, and he has a healthy lead.
Well, we were just giving some props to the Team Salem boys. Let's go down and hear from them. Kelly's standing by.
With Will Nonamaker and Stu were just talking about that new car and how happy they are with it, and of course it has championship history behind it, but really talk about the difference it makes to have that Mazda out here.
Well, it is fantastic to have the Mazda. It's a great company and they build a great car, and Speed Source did a good job for us, so we're just super happy. This is the car they actually won, like you said, 2 years ago, so to have this car running fourth, and of course Speed Source built a brand new car that's winning, so it's looking good for Mazda right now.
Several laps down, but still with only a couple hours left in this, you guys have got to be feeling really great running now fourth, but to be in a top 5 position.
Yeah, we actually had a philosophy of being the tortoise this race. We've been one of the slowest cars in the top 10 the whole race, but it was intentional so that we could be here at the end. So here we are at the end, and hopefully we'll just keep plugging along for Team Salem.
And a good finish here would help give the team something to build on as you move forward too, right?
That's correct. We're going to run the whole year with both cars, 42 and 43. And we're also going to run the Continental Tire Series with the new Mazda Speed 3. So we're just going to keep running both series the whole year, and hopefully this will give us good points.
Well, great showing here for the 43. Thanks.
63, the Team Polizei entry here for TRG, charging on. And as you can see, that car is a little bit beaten and battered. Zach Browning's behind the wheel right now.
Well, he's got a busy season ahead of him. He's going to be campaigning an Audi R8 over in the FIA GT Championship. He and Henri Richard, who he shares the car with this weekend, and the car's going to be actually run by Richard Dean. So he's got a lot on his plate. He's also established a new historic series called the Legends of Motorsport with Bobby Rahal. There's going to be 3 races this year. One at Barber Motorsports Park, one at the Glen, and one at Mont Tremblant. So he's a busy boy, has a great and very successful marketing company as well. Put some major sponsorships on race cars throughout Formula One, NASCAR, and certainly in this series as well.
And Zach and Henri Richard will do more races this year in Grand Am Rolex Series racing in the GT class. You're looking at the overall leader, Joao Barbosa. He's done it in class, never overall. Can this be the Action Express team's day? We're not far away from giving you the answer. In the words of Mike Shank and AJ Allmendinger, we cannot catch a break in this race. And guess what? Bad luck has struck again, with Allmendinger behind the wheel to Mike Shank Racing and the Ford Riley.
We'd seen this car with wisping smoke. We were trying to figure out if it was coming out of the exhaust or what. We were hoping it was just an overflow tank. All of a sudden it caught fire, and AJ pulled it off to safety. We don't know that it's an engine still, though. It was an oil leak, no question.
There is no doubt everybody works tirelessly to get here and get through the 24 hours. Mike Shank works his guts out all year, and this event just will not give him anything.
See the wisps already there, Dorsey.
Right, we were looking at there, yeah. Just let go, whatever it was.
Came down into the brake zone. You could see some smoke emanating from the rear. And kaboom. Saw Mark Patterson in there in the pit box, and Lynn, AJ's wife, severely disappointed to get this far into this race. Just over an hour to go, and to see it go up in flames is devastating. The amount of work, it is such a brutal grind here, not only for the 24 hours, but all of the preparation for several months that goes into this race. To see it go awry at this stage is heartbreaking.
That almost brought out the full course yellow that Scott Pruitt and the Ganassi boys needed, but
yeah,
AJ got it to a place where he could get towed right back to the pit. Now, like I said, we don't know that the engine blew yet. It could have been just a massive oil leak. It caught on the headers, but.
Brian?
Mike Shank up on the box, looking at the monitors right now. Mike, this lady here at Daytona just won't give you guys anything.
It's ridiculous. I don't know what we got to do, but I don't know what happened. The crankcase pressure went way up, and then the motor started wheezing like everyone saw there, and it's probably over. So that's it.
You look at the preparation that you guys do and the hard work that you put into this. I mean, it's not something that you overlook. It's just bad luck. How do you ever get rid of bad luck? All the other things you can address.
Just don't give up, I guess. Just keep trying and get the 60 up there, and hopefully can finish 5th or 6th, and that'll be it. And take the Crown Royal car to Homestead.
You heard him say, never give up, and this team won't do it. They have borrowed money, bought cars, been to SunTrust Bank, gotten their loans, and it has all been laid on the line for success here at Mike Shank Racing. And once again, the lady here at Daytona International Speedway just not smiling at all on Mike Shank and the rest of his team.
Here's more trouble, Brian, for the 22 Porsche. That might be a flat right rear. Yeah, looks like it's sitting down in the right rear.
Darrell Oyoung behind the wheel right now, and this guy's a bit of a stud in these Porsches. He won the Porsche Cup over in Asia, finished second at Macau in the GT race there, has run at Le Mans. And Ross Bentley has known him since he was just 4 years old, and says that the guy has a lot of talent. So a pretty unique entry here this year for the boys from BC.
Does that make this guy real young or Ross real old?
Well, his name is Oyoung. So.
Ross has helped so many drivers with his Speed Secrets campaign, and pretty interesting squad here. Sean McIntosh on the team here, an A1 Grand Prix winner for Team Canada. They were looking for a very strong run here at the moment. Car 22 is in position 22 and is looking rather wounded. We'll come back, we'll follow up on that Mike Shank Racing story, and we'll continue to monitor the advantage to Joao Barbosa. It's hovering around that 1 minute mark. One of the final times for us to tell you about Pirelli Tyres Chip Foose Dempsey Racing Edition Mazda RX-8 giveaway. Pirelli wants you to have a chance to win this special car. Designed by Chip Foose. There he is on screen, sporting a retro-style Dorsey Schrader hairdo. All you have to do is continue to watch our broadcast. Look for the code word. It's pretty easy. And then go to grandam.com/Foose to enter the prize word. And there will be 11 people do that. Did you help him with that, dude, Dorse, or not?
No, something on with his lip.
Okay. Good luck with that. It's a great prize, and that Dempsey Racing Mazda RX-8 could be yours with thanks to Pirelli and Grand Am and Mazda as well. That gives you the overall. Look at the GT cars sneaking up there. Nick Ham, the GT leader, is 8th overall. 8, 9, and 10 GT cars. In fact, they fill 8 through 15. So the attrition rate with the Daytona prototypes has been pretty high. There's been some very good racing amongst the GT ranks. However, no one is even close at the moment to that number 70 Speed Source Mazda. There is a 4-lap advantage. Nick Ham over Jörg Bergmeister. The 70 can go into cruise mode for the final hour and 11 minutes and get their second win in 3 years. The big objective this year is to bring Mazda the Manufacturers' Championship in GT racing. Let's talk overall. Let's talk João Barbosa. The quietly spoken man from Portugal really does some heavy talking on the track. I told you about that lead margin hovering around a minute. Pruitt has been consistently lapping faster than Barbosa, and he's brought it down to 54 seconds. This is the new third place car, the 95, the Crown Royal cast number 16 car for NPN Racing, level 5. Kelly standing by. Anything special, Kelly?
Well, Ryan, Hunter-Reay just took over and he'll finish off the last hour and 10 minutes here. But just talking to their team manager, he said, we're really backing off. We're short shifting. They think they can run comfortably 146, 147, and the car behind them can't make up that. They're hoping these first and second place cars are going to run each other into an engine failure, and they'll be there to kind of be the cherry pickers at the end. So they're going to back it down here and just cruise and hope luck is on their side.
Yeah, well, the guy behind them right now is listed as AJ Allmendinger, and we know that their effort has gone awry. So the next man on the board is Ricardo Zonta driving the 75 machine. He's some 15 laps behind, so I think they're spot on there, and that's the strategy call they're making. Let's just try and get this car to the finish, and hopefully the two in front of us trip up over something.
That's all they have. That's the only cards they have in their hand, to be honest about it. I mean, Scott Pruitt, the reason he's running quicker is because he needs to. Joao, I'm sure, has been told to bring it to the finish line to some degree. Without a caution flag, Scott will never have enough to make up a lap in what he's got in hand right there.
It's gone back out to 55 seconds. How about Brazilian Ricardo Zonta, the ex-F1 driver? Is currently 5th overall. He should inherit 4th place within the next 10 laps, with the number 6 Mike Shankar dropping down. And they always knew that they were going to be up against it here at Daytona. This car really trimmed out aero-wise. This track doesn't particularly suit the Lola. And team manager and senior engineer David Brown said, we've played a lot with it. We've taken certain cars off. We've really trimmed this out. We'll see how we go. It's very robust. We know that it's going to go the distance, but will it be fast enough?
Their best shot was if it stayed raining. I mean, the car does, in fact, do well in that condition.
Yeah, I was looking at one of the reports during the course of the race where Zonta said the car had a really bad balance in that opening stint there in the rain, and then when they came in, they only changed rear tires, and immediately the balance was back. So they left the same fronts on and just changed rears, and he said then the car was absolutely flying.
Do you remember last year we promoted the Sunoco Driver Challenge? It was based on 4 UK series, and whoever amassed the highest average amount of points would get a ride in the 2010 Rolex 24 at Daytona in this car, the McDonald's Dallara. Derek Johnston was the winner, and he's with Kelly.
And Derek, we're just talking about you winning the most points for the Sunoco Driver Challenge, but tell me what you did over there in Europe to earn this ride.
Yeah, I mean, this deal was put together with Jim Franson and all the Grand Am people, along with Sunoco. And they came up with the idea to offer this amazing prize, a race in the Daytona 2400, to a British championship or a series of British championships. And how the deal worked was that they picked four series of British racing. I raced a Radical UK Cup, and the overall winner of them point scoring system won the prize to come here and race. Awesome.
This car ran in first place, and then it's had kind of the lowest of lows at times too. What's your experience been like?
Yeah, I mean, to see Mimo come through the pack from 11th place and put it on the front row there was absolutely amazing. I mean, we were all excited. And then we had some gearbox problems in the night, which we went so many laps down, it was just not possible to do anything. And then since then, one thing and another, we've had a bit of bad luck here and there. But you know, we're still in it now, and the car's still running, it's still strong, so hopefully we'll make it across this line.
And for you on a personal level, when you see some of the names you are competing against here in this event, from Formula One, NASCAR champions, that's a pretty impressive lineup to be a part of.
Yeah, I was real concerned about that up until jumping in the car, but when you get in the car, you just forget about that and you do your own thing. You know, it's a race car and you're out there to race, so I just luckily could sort of blank that side of it out. But you know, I was always mindful in my mirrors to watch out for them and try not to get in their way. And luckily Kevin Durant was on the radio and telling me who was who to, you know, get out of the way and let these guys through, which is what we did, hopefully.
Well, congratulations on winning that Sunoco Driver Challenge, and Derek will be getting in for that one last stint here in about 10 more laps. Thank you.
Well, he's been very excited about getting behind the wheel of one of these Daytona prototypes. There's a big jump in horsepower. Those Radicals only have about 360, obviously around 500 for these Daytona prototypes. But on his final race weekend, he had a bit of a dilemma because all he needed was a third-place finish to clinch his own championship, but he needed the win to get those bonus points for the Sunoco Challenge. He was sitting in his race car prior to the off. He looked at his mechanic. He said, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to throw caution to the wind, go for the win, and he did a double win that weekend, and that's what's got him the ride here this weekend.
Did he just make up a new event, by the way, the Rolex 2400?
2400, yeah.
Pull the Dorsey.
That's a long day.
Brian, we need to get to a break, but we'll check back in with you when we come back about the Castrol Syntec Speed Source Mazda, the class-leading Mazda by 3 laps. They're well and truly in control. See you in a minute. Almost 23 hours down, 1 to go. The final one. What does this final 61.5 minutes hold for us here at Daytona International Speedway? Will the big stories that define this race unfold? Will it continue down the same vein? It has been. We had an early call that the 01, the Ganassi car was coming in this time round. We understand, there we go, it stayed out.
I think they need to. If they pitted right now, I'd have to say they would need a splash plus a full pit stop to get to the end of this one. So they're going to stand any chance of getting victory here today. They need to do this race on just one more stop because we know the 9 car is scheduled for just one more pit stop. They don't need a second visit to pit lane.
No, this car needed a yellow, but right now so many cars are in destiny already. They are where they're going to be, and they're already just everybody running off laps. So, you know, nobody's pushing hard right now.
It's the German powerhouses pushing these cars. It's Porsche up front ahead of 2 BMWs. However, they are American-made chassis. Riley Technologies out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Bill Riley and his staff do an amazing job, and it's the most successful chassis in the Daytona prototype era in Grand Am Rolex Series history. Charging on. The margin is 52 seconds. Barbosa to Pruitt. A caution is what's needed for the Ganassi squad to try and get 4 victories in 5 years.
Scott Pruitt, he felt he drove his best season ever in Daytona prototypes last year. He said, I didn't make a mistake all season long. He said the car was great, but we just came up a little bit short. So they want to go one better this year with Lexus pulling out. They searched around and everyone thought they might go to the Ford power. Maybe they'd have a Lexus power plant rebadged as Toyota, but ultimately at the 11th hour, they made the switch to BMW power, and I'd have to say that everyone in that camp is very, very happy with that decision.
Jonathan Bomarito slow? No, he's just being courteous is what he's doing. Getting out of everybody's way. I saw flame under the car, but that's just that Mazda exhaust.
As we're going to that last commercial break, we promised you we'd check back in with Brian Till at the Speed Source camp. And I think he's with Nick Ham. Brian?
Well, Nick just climbed out of the car. A big smile on his face, still does. Even though the car has some damage from last night, still looked like it must have been a lot of fun out there. How was it?
I don't think there's much visual damage on it. It just hit one of the wheels, but This is fun. This has been an incredible roller coaster, this race. We've been up and down, and it's all come together at the end. Great, way cool.
I know it's been an emotional roller coaster for you as well. We're not going to see you for a full season deal, and that has to be a little bit hard. But if you can walk away from here with a Rolex, how much better will you feel about that?
Well, we've still got an hour to go, but yeah, that would be a great way to finish out with Speed Source. I've really enjoyed these 3 years. I have some wonderful memories with them. And I'm very thankful to Sylvain and Mazda for the opportunity. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not sure whether I'm going to, be driving anymore. We'll just see if the phone rings.
And Lee Diffie's biggest concern about not seeing you at the racetrack is that you'll be practicing golf and you can already beat him soundly.
Yeah, I'll do that. But he's a good fun bagger to play with. I like Lee a lot. That's another thing I've enjoyed about these last 3 years is all you guys' company. It's been fun being with you.
The biggest question is, what kind of socks do you have on today? Lee was concerned that your wife was unhappy with some of the socks she saw you wear before at the foot cam. We didn't have that today. Are your socks okay?
Socks are great. And hey, Pam, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Always a smile on his face. The hamster.
He was my teammate, as I said before, a long time ago. He's always in a very good mood. There's no question about that. He's even in the face of adversity, losing this right after 3 years, he can still tell jokes, so have fun with it.
Big year for this young man. We've already mentioned it several times. He's come up through the Mazda ladder system, and that's what Mazda want the young drivers to aspire to, those tangible steps up that Mazda ladder system, to see drivers like Jonathan Bomarito end up here in a quality team at a big event like this, that it can be done.
Well, he came so close to winning the Atlantic Championship over the years, and last year he was here with Speed Source. They didn't get the result they were looking for with the damage to the race car early on, but certainly Jonathan Bomarito did enough to impress that camp and the Mazda brand that he was the man they wanted behind the wheel for the future. So all credit to him for hanging in there. I know it's been an awfully tough ride for Jonathan in terms of not having a regular seat at times, but he keeps digging deep, and finally he's got a full-time ride here in the Rolex Series.
9th in class is the Adobe Road Porsche for TRG. Spencer Pumpelly behind the wheel. He trails Bill Auberlen, Patrick Dempsey, Richard Leitz, Wayne Nonamaker, Robin Liddell, Wolf Hensler, Jörg Bergmeister, and of course Bomarito. Let's go for a ride aboard the Adobe Road Porsche.
Still really cold tires. He's being very tentative.
He's now on his 3rd lap after putting some fresh Pirellis on there.
Yeah, I was watching that and I said, well, he's either out of tires or he just got some, and he just got some. Being really tender.
This bus stop chicane, you can see him just kissing those curbs through there. That's okay, particularly in a GT car. It has a little bit more roll and it takes the real weight off that inside wheel. But for the Daytona prototypes, when they hit those curbs, it can really send a bit of a resonance through the whole car and do some damage over the course of 24 hours. But GT cars a little softer, more subtle with the suspension.
At the 01 going in.
The 01 in pit lane.
Well, this is it, guys. The last stop for Chip Ganassi Racing in the 2000 and 10 Rolex 24. Pruitt behind the wheel, 4 new Pirelli tires, a load of fuel, and right on time. They've been running about 56 minutes on a tank of fuel. This run will get them to the 3:31 mark when the checkered flag should fall, just waiting on the rest of the fuel. One more stop for the 9 car, and then it's going to be all up to just 2 guys, Joao Barbosa and this man, Scott Pruitt, waiting for fuel. It's going to take a full load to make sure that he can get there. He cannot be short at all on this fuel load. Pruitt away.
Just a superb effort by this team. You saw Max Pappas there standing on the wall, egging his partner on. He did a tremendous job here today. I mean, really, really impressed with the lap times that Max was able to lay down. But this is a very weird 24-hour race, Dorsey. We've seen him lost in many different ways, but for a driver to feel something in the race car, take it back to the garage and find nothing wrong and lose a couple of laps, that may be the difference here.
I mean, essentially, it cost the win, or the possibility of being able to win, to have nothing wrong. So that's a harsh penalty. Scott now back out, is back behind another lap now, down.
It's probably all down to the communication process. I mean, so often we're seeing it when the car goes back to the garage, they can literally put an army of guys over on the car and find out what's wrong and get it done quickly. But obviously what Justin said on the radio to Timmy King gave him that amount of alarm that the car needed to go back to the garage. If they're stopped in their pit box, maybe had a quick look, sent him again, it may have saved precious seconds. But it's easy to second guess these guys. They heard the call, heard that something had blown up. They wanted to get back there and get it fixed quickly.
Well, it would have been an opportune time if something was wrong because he was right at pit lane. On the other hand, it really messed them up because with nothing wrong, if it had happened past start-finish line, he would have had to complete that lap, and then he would have found out that there was nothing wrong and would never have pitted.
You're right.
So, I mean,
the timing of it. You know, you're so close to pit lane, the driver thinks, I've got to get it in because something's awry. And as you say, Dorsey, if he'd had another mile just to feel it out and zig around a little bit and really feel the car out and make the determination, hey guys, something felt wrong, but now it's okay.
One driver who's enjoyed his time aboard a Porsche in GT is a former series champion, Kelly Collins. Here he is.
And that Porsche ran first at one time. It's third in its class now, but Kelly, as it just went by moments ago, you didn't really like the sound of it. What'd you hear?
Well, for the last 2 hours, we've had a cracked header on the TRG AXA Porsche. And earlier on, when we were leading the race yesterday, we had a crank sensor that went out, and we lost the lead, and we fell way back, and we've just been working our way up all through the night. And Wolf and Andy have been giving it hell, and Patrick and Ted have been driving fantastic as well. And we're just happy right now for AXA, TRG, and to be where we are right now. We're very lucky after what happened to us.
Yeah, still in a podium position, but given that spot that you're in, you know, you're several laps down. What's this last hour like for you?
I've been here before. You know, it used to be very taxing and very nervous and didn't even want to be out here, but I've been in first, second, third, and the car's broken, and you just go get on an airplane, go back and start, you know, working on the next year. So right now, Wolf's doing a great job. He's a good guy to have in the car. We're staying off the curbs. He's short shifting like crazy, and we've got a pretty comfortable third place, and we can't get second, and that's our teammates anyway, so it's kind of locked down. We just need to stay out of trouble and bring it home.
Sounds like the 66 is in cruise control. Thanks, Kelly.
Well, a broken exhaust header pipe will rob you of a little bit of power, but it's usually not detrimental to the car, assuming that where the exhaust leak isn't up against something that can catch fire or whatever. And those 6 cylinders in the back of the Porsche, they usually have pretty good air underneath them, so I don't think it'll be a problem, but it's just another niggling thing to deal with.
The good news is we understand Kelly Collins may have secured a full-time seat for the rest of the season with Lou Gilotti, who's moving over here with the new GT program, maybe teaming up with Eric Lutz. That's the rumor in the paddock right now. Meanwhile, the 10-car pits, been a long day for these boys. They had so much on the line here today, had the pole, won the race back in 2005, and Ricky Taylor now on board full-time with Max Angelelli. They're going to be strong this season, but you have to feel that Wayne Taylor will be bitterly disappointed by today's outcome.
And when we were on our last break, one of our field producers and cameraman, Phil Yunker, came up to us, and he'd had a break himself, and he said, is the 10 still out there? And we said, yeah, why? And he said, because I stayed up all night. He said, I saw this car come in 3 separate times. And he said, the work that this team has done is just remarkable.
Well, now they're putting brake pads on, which I'm sure they weren't wanting to have to do that this late in the race, but No problem there.
This went awry last year when they were doing this. One of the pistons popped out of the caliper, and that cost them dearly. When you think about that, they finished 4th here last year. Without that delay in pit lane, I think it cost them nearly 2 laps. They could have won here last year, but it's all ifs and buts.
You saw Ganassi do that by changing the whole assembly, but that's a planned brake pads. And I'm sure this is not a planned brake stop here.
This is just pads to get them to the finish. They probably had a look on the previous stop and said, you know what? They look really thin, and they're really not in the hunt. They're not going to get that 6th position back, it doesn't look like. They're probably going to finish in 7th spot here today, so better to play it safe.
Yeah, I mean, you go through that backing plate or you pop a piston out of the caliper and you're done for sure. No need for what they've gone through to go through that too.
One of the big storylines coming into this year's Rolex 24 was the full-on 2-car assault from Scott Tucker and his NPN racing team, Level 5 Motorsport, and a stable of stars. They're still running strong, and Ryan Hunter-Reay is in 3rd in the 95 Crown Royal car. Let's hear from the team boss.
Scott Tucker seems to be in some pretty good spirits. I mean, with that car running 3rd and still enough time left that things can happen, what are your thoughts as you watch that 95?
You know, we're really pleased with the performance of it, but you're right. You know, this race isn't over. We're doing everything we can to, you know, we're doing short shifting and doing a lot of things. You know, we'd like to get on that podium, the competition stuff here, but it's not over yet.
We talked 5 years ago. You said you had never even been in a race car, and now you sit here this weekend and alongside Sebastian Bourdais, Ryan Hunter-Reay, some pretty impressive drivers. What's that like for you on a personal level?
It's great. You know, I've worked really hard for this, and you know, it's just keep working hard. But having those guys around me really makes us be able to execute and get to where we are right now.
How tough has it been with the 2-car assault?
You know, actually it went pretty well. You know, it was well organized, and everything went pretty good.
Well, Scott Tucker will be keeping a keen eye on that 95 league.
Yeah, congratulations to Scott and his team, David Stone, and everyone at Level 5. It's been a monstrous effort.
I tell you what, I am really impressed with Scott Tucker as we see the leader down on the apron. Is this the final stop of the day for the number 9 car? Can the Brumos, let's call it awning at least, get their 2nd win in a row here? Brian's in pit lane waiting.
To the stop, Joao Barbosa brings the number 9. I'm actually surprised, Calvin, they waited this long, because by my calculations, they're well within their fuel window. Typically, you want to be the first one to make your last stop. Now, the fuel fill will take the shorter amount of time because they won't need to put quite as much fuel in it. This is interesting. The tires are on, the window's clean. I think Joao Barbosa, who has a class victory here in 2003, probably over the years one of the most underrated drivers in the Rolex Sports Car Series. He's really shown what he can do from time to time. Being with the Brumos team last year allowed him to really strut his stuff. And right now, he's showing you exactly what they can do. You know, they had the clutch problems. They pushed it, got it going. Barbosa on those cold Pirellis back underway.
And you saw the Ganassi 01 flash by in the background, so Scott Pruitt back on the lead lap now. Let's not forget that there's one of the quartet is a Rolex 24 champion and a series champion. That's Terry Borchella. The Action Express crew congratulating each other on a job well done. They've just got to hang in there for another 46 minutes.
And for Scott, in my estimation, in the next 46 minutes would need a yellow to have any hopes of running this car down. They're running too much close times.
The pressure is on. There's a new team owner with a very experienced staff. What a way that would be to start the 2010 season. It's what they're racing for, not only the title, but that beautiful wristwatch, as we welcome you back to the final 42.5 minutes of the Rolex 24 at Daytona, the 48th running of this renowned sports car endurance classic. Who will do it? As we went to the break, we told you it's a new team as far as the name and ownership, with a very experienced staff and driver lineup behind it. The Action Express Porsche Riley has had pretty much a faultless run, and Joao Barbosa is steering it towards victory lane.
He's going for 2 in a row. Don't forget, he won the season finale, he and Hurley at Homestead last year, so Joao Barbosa has certainly got a lot of momentum right now. He had a podium finish here last year in the 59 machine, so we always knew he had tremendous talent, just needed a break, got a full-time ride here in the States now. And as you said, he's just quiet, unassuming, but he can get the gas pedal down when needed.
You saw Hurley Hayward, David Donahue sitting on the box talking of the 59. It is out, mechanical. Took the famous 59 out of this race. However, the Brumos gang still have plenty to cheer for with this V8 powered Porsche within 41 minutes of victory lane. Second place in GT is on pit road. The TRG Flying Lizard machine.
Looks like Jörg Bergmeister stay in that car.
This was a brand new chassis. They debuted here earlier this month. Good clean stop by these boys. And I tell you what, other than that broken shock, these guys would have definitely been knocking on the door for victory here today.
This is John Pugh, who is reported to be slowing the other and last of the Michael Shank cars.
Well, he just went out, so maybe he's just getting up to speed. It's so easy to see the GT cars suddenly flying by you, and it looks weird, but this is his out lap, so they're going to try and get John to the checkered flag here, this finishing stint. He's done a great job here today. One of our Pro-Am drivers, of course, and he's going to be running full-time this year with the Crown Royal colors alongside Oz Negri. So Negri stays in the 60, but John switches from the number 6 to the number 60 machine under the Mike Shank Racing banner.
It's just so darn cold out there, Calvin, that these tires just, you saw a little twitch right there. It's so slippery for 3 laps, you can't even begin to put the power on it.
Well, you think you've slowed to a crawl, and it's still not slow enough. I mean, it's just hard to discipline yourself enough to slow the car way, way down, let the GT class go around you. You're thinking, come on, I just got to get on. It can't be this slow. And then suddenly it'll snap on you and you realize, whoa, that was a wake-up call.
I remember in the Lola Porsche, I fell off the banking because it was so slippery on the outlap. Literally, the car just slid from the banking down to the apron.
55 seconds between Barbosa and Pruitt. And then you have 3 laps further back is Ryan Hunter-Ray, who holds on to third. There he is in the Black Crown Royal BMW Riley. And then 2 more laps behind him is Tracy Crone in the 75 Crone Racing Ford Lola. Then AJ Allmendinger has amassed enough laps for Mike Shank Racing to still hold on to 5th, despite being out of the race. And John Pugh is just a couple of laps from overtaking him in 6th place at the moment. Angelelli holds down 7th, and then we have a string of GT cars, 8th through 19th, all maintain their positions in the overall standings respectively. Let's hear from Bergmeister.
He just climbed out of that 67 Porsche, and Jörg, given the position that you're in, you're a few laps down with only a little time left. What was that last stint like for you?
I mean, we're pushing as hard as we can, so we don't give up. I just did the quickest race lap, 49.9, so we're really pushing, but we need some luck, I guess.
Do you allow yourself to get the highs and the lows? I mean, you guys led for a short time, then you had your issues. Do you let yourself go there, or is it too long?
I mean, all we can do as drivers is just sit in there and push as hard as we can. The rest, you need some luck on a 24-hour race. It's not supposed to be this time, it looks like, but yeah, maybe next time again.
Still in good shape for a podium. Brian?
Well, Jörg Bergmeister, we're just saying you need some luck for a 24-hour race. Tim Keen, you guys know all about luck, but you know about preparation as well. This time, it looks like the luck just wasn't on your side. I know you guys always want to be careful. Perhaps, Justin, just a little too careful?
Yeah, we just overreacted, I guess. You know, it made it sound like he had really broken the car, and it seems like he just ran over something, and it made the car just start moving all over the place. He really thought something was broke, and his words were like, something blew up or something. So we immediately just go to the garage in those circumstances, and turned out to really be nothing.
You got one of the best in the business behind the wheel right now. I know Scott Pruitt's doing all that he can do. You guys pouring through your notes here. I think it's done all you can do from the box. The only thing you need now, a little luck on your side. What would you guys pay for a GT car to stop in the middle of the racetrack with a problem?
Yeah, we just need a little bit of luck with the yellow right now. That's our only hope. Congratulations to everybody. I mean, with Tomax and Chip Ganassi, Target, I mean, they've done a great job. And it's not over till it's over. There's 40 minutes to go. I'm not giving up yet.
Yellow really right now your only hope?
Absolutely.
One team down here praying for yellow, guys.
Yeah, they need a big hand here, but It's been a perfect race. We talk about Chip Ganassi Racing, and their record here has been quite remarkable over what will be the last 5 years. Won 3 in a row. So close to victory last year, and once again, it looks like they may come up a little bit shy, but it's not down to preparation, Dorsey. I mean, they have ticked all the boxes once again, made the switch to the BMW power plant. That has performed impeccably in this car. Obviously, problems with the O2, but, you know, that incident with Justin, I've never seen one go away from a team in that manner.
Me either, but Jim made a very good point. 40 minutes left, 36 to be exact, and it's not over yet by any means.
The 97, this is the second Stevenson Motorsports Camaro, still circulating. 17th overall for Brady Raffenning.
That's a battle wagon.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Seen a hard day. I finished many a race like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like one of your old Trans Am victories, Dorsey.
I won a lot of races like that.
All across the line with most of the body missing.
He'll be underweight.
The sister car is currently in the top 5 in class, not where Robin Liddell and Andrew Davis wanted to be. Of course, bringing in Jan Magnussen as well, who did a stellar job. But still, new car, big hit out. There's been a lot expected from the team. It's still valuable championship points.
It was a good shot of Robin Liddell laying it down in the corner there through the infield kink. Really had her little 4-wheel drift going. Looks good.
He has really done a superb job in these cars over the last few years, and I think he and Andrew Davis have great chemistry as a pairing, and they both know their roles, and they have great management with the team, great crew, and the whole infrastructure there is superb. For them to be able to expand their program to a full-time 2-car GT effort and a new 2-car Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge effort, that is big stuff in the off-season.
Stevenson and its drivers have finished in the top 3 in the championship for the past couple of years, so they really want to go to the top, both in the team's championship and in the drivers' championship in 2010. The 32 Corsa PR1 entry, Jeff Westphal, young man, former open-wheel driver, enjoying his time in sports car, learning it very rapidly. This is a family-based team as well, who have done very, very well. They decided not to come here to the test during the off-season and tested out at Buttonwillow instead, and did a very nice job. Got this M6 right in the zone where they wanted it to be. And this is just the team's second Rolex 24, so still on a big learning curve.
They really are, and they used last year as a development program to get ready, and they came away from last year's 24-hour race where they finished 11th and just had a whole list of notes and strategies that they wanted to employ for this year, and the 32 car has certainly done that.
There's Claudio Burton at 23. That car has gone through a lot during this 24-hour race, being wrecked heavily right in the first practice of the weekend, repaired, and still soldiers on.
Transmission issues during the night, and the 23 is still in the top 10 in its class at the moment. So pushing along. The car run by Alex Job Racing. Alex is celebrating his 16th Rolex 24 at Daytona. Experience everywhere. We're running out of time and laps. Can Barbosa hang on?
Welcome back live to Daytona International Speedway, where the 48th Rolex 24 at Daytona began in a soft, warm rain, and it looks like it will end in a chilling breeze. These drivers will take a victory any way they can get it. From our Victory Lane Speed Studios, I'm Bob Varsha with David Hobbs. David, has been another memorable Rolex 24. We're about a half hour from the finish. What are your thoughts?
Well, everybody said, you know, could they have a finish like they did last year when the finish was actually less than 2 seconds between the leaders? But, I mean, here we are a year later, and we're down to way less than a lap after 24 hours. They're still turning in laps, which should have qualified them about 5th or 6th on the grid. Michael Shank in the 6th car was running right with the 2 leaders. Went away in flames just about half an hour ago. I mean, absolute tragedy for those guys, but that's what 24-hour races are all about. But this one is turning out to be a quite outstanding race yet again. A little bit chilly for the spectators and the crews, to say the least, though.
Well, I'd have to say that the upset that we're apparently going to see, I don't want to jinx it, but that largely unsponsored Action Express team with that basically one-of-a-kind engine from the Lozano brothers. It's called a Porsche. Porsche probably doesn't want to hear about it, but they will take back-to-back victories overall here at Daytona, their first since the good old days of the 80s with the powerhouse Holbrook racing teams. It's a great story, and we're going to have a long time to savor it before the next round of the championship at Homestead Miami Speedway in March. Now let's get back up to the boys in the booth.
Thank you, Bob. Yeah, interesting times. Interesting times. Are we waiting for a caution, hopefully, optimistically, to see a dogfight, a street fight all the way to the end? Well, certainly the Action Express guys do not want to see that caution fly in this final 28 minutes. They want to go cruise with their 50-plus second lead all the way to victory lane.
Well, that engine we're talking about as being a one-off has actually come out of a Porsche Cayenne. It's now a 5-liter V8 developed by Lozano Brothers Porting, Benny Lozano, and it's not the only one running, but it's going to be the first time it wins, isn't it? If it does, in fact, make it the rest of the way, 27 minutes.
We've seen some strong performances, though, from the Spirit of Daytona team with this power plant.
And I think this car and this team are just going to go from strength to strength. You figure this is their debut, and at the test, they weren't real happy with it. They didn't feel they had a good balance with the car. It was reacting differently to the flat six, so a lot to learn, but they learned quick. I mean, they didn't fall into this one. They have been strong all day long. When the other cars were running, they were taking off and leaving the boys, not by a lot, but they seem to have a good quarter of a second advantage over the 0-1 machine at times.
You know, they stayed under the radar in the test, too. I looked at that car and I looked at who was going to be driving it, so for that, you know, it showed the strength to be there. For some reason, no one was really paying it the attention maybe they should have. You know, Porsche as a factory would want you to run the flat six because the Cayenne is, of course, an SUV, not a sports car or whatever you want to call it, but really makes no difference. I mean, that's the good thing about the Grand Am class. You can run this multitude of different types of engine configuration, and obviously this Cayenne motor is capable.
The Masters' hands are tied. 54 seconds is the margin, and Scott Pruitt and his Ganassi BMW Riley cannot do anything about that. Back to third place, 95, Ryan Hunter-Reay. This is a great result for the team that is coming on. The Crown Royal sponsored level 5 NPN racing team. And yet again, we see a strong performance from the American. Off for a very big year, an exciting year ahead with Andretti Autosport in the Indy Racing League. And we wish Ryan Hunter-Reay all the best. Let's go for a ride for a moment.
Seeing Ryan Hunter-Reay there, left foot brake. You can see in left foot go to the brake pedal there. Some of the drivers, right foot brake, some left. You see Brian looking in his mirrors.
Ryan was the very first driver to ever complete all the steps on the now defunct Champ Car ladder system. He came out of the Skip Barber series, Toyota Atlantics, went on to Champ Car. He went through a little bit of a rough period there in his career, and I'm so pleased. So many people are very pleased for Hunter-Reay. He is a raw talent. He is an authentic talent, and that has now been brought to the surface in the IndyCar series. And And we wish him all the best for this year.
You see him letting the 10 car by. They realize they've got a podium finish in their grasp. Don't want to jeopardize that. This car is being engineered this weekend by Colin Brown's dad, Jeff Brown, who's been brought on board by Scott Tucker. As this team runs 2 cars here, we don't expect that on a full-time basis this year, but I have to compliment Scott Tucker and this whole organization to really expand to 2 cars here and bring all of these ingredients together, Dorsey, and be so successful here. One of the most torturous races is really quite an achievement.
I mean, to start out and try to do a 1-car effort and learn is one thing, but to come on like he has with 2 stellar driver lineups, 2 stellar cars, engineering people in place to run these cars like they have, is quite an accomplishment, is right.
We've hit a record mark here today, boys, too. It is the most laps completed ever in the Daytona prototype era. 741 laps complete. We've got 23 minutes to go, so that number's only going to grow. Reduced traffic. It's certainly not the biggest field we've seen in the DP era, so that has left the track clear. But it certainly hasn't been incident-free.
Well, make no mistake about it, this year goes down as one of the most difficult years I've seen from the standpoint of starting that race under torrential downpour conditions, which we've never done before. We've started in the rain, but never like that. And having it wet for so long, but not raining wet, which is even harder yet than if it had been raining. You know, the conditions throughout this event have been less than favorable. And now, of course, we're dealing with temperatures that are just, quite honestly, under the temperature needed to make these cars get grip.
Well, I think it was a great decision by the stewards to start it under caution, because Christophe Bouchou got out of the car who started the race, and he said the conditions were just too bad to go. So I think everyone has to compliment the whole race control staff there in making that decision, getting us off to a nice, safe, clean start for a 24-hour race, and really compliment the drivers for keeping it together. The incidents that we saw seemed to happen a little bit further into the race. Those opening couple of hours when we thought it would really be treacherous conditions, everyone kept it together pretty well.
I think that's kind of what happened, was that it got worse as it went on, from the standpoint of it wasn't wet all the way around, and it was different areas on the racetrack were just like a skating rink. And the temperature certainly didn't help anything. It was actually warmer while it was raining than it's been since it quit raining, and that was early yesterday afternoon.
Tracy Crone out there right now in the 75 machine. They've got a great run here going. I don't think they're going to get on the podium here this afternoon, but 4th place finish, good points for Tracy and Nick Johnson, who we anticipate seeing the full season this year.
Good to see Tracy back behind the wheel as well. He's the founder, chairman, and CEO of W&T Offshore. Motor racing is his passion when he's not at the office. You heard Bob bring up that historical footnote earlier. We're looking down the barrel of back-to-back Porsche victories, and the last time that happened was 1986, 1987. In the Porsche 962 era, Al Holbert, Al Unser Jr., Derek Bell, and then in 87 it was Al, Derek, Chip Robinson. Look at those names. Unbelievable piece of motor racing history right there in front of our very eyes in Victory Lane here at Daytona International Speedway. Are we seeing this about to happen? It was the 58 Brumos Porsche last year. This is the Action Express V8 powered Porsche this year. Both Riley chassis cars and similar crew working on both of them last year and this year, pushing this mission, pushing this effort home. Joao Barbosa has had his moments here at the Speedway. He's enjoyed victory in a class. He's enjoyed leading this race, and a suspension part breaking and throwing him sideways coming through NASCAR 4. He's seen the highs and the lows. He is just 16.5 minutes away from driving this newly named team to victory lane in the Rolex 24. For those of you just turning on, welcome. Let's bring you up to date. Let's give you a snapshot of what has occurred over the past 23.5 hours. The race started under caution. Conditions, as Dorsey mentioned earlier, simply too treacherous. There was about a handful of laps done under caution before we went racing for real. Michael Valiente shortcut the track and filled the front full of dirt. And then a very nervous ride for Dane Cameron. Another nervous ride for Bob McKalian as well in that Ferrari. Not too much damage done there as we skip ahead to the 4th hour. And then one of the front-running Porsches had a bad moment. Jimmy Johnson showed Emmanuel Collard how to go around the high banking and use it to the most effect. It was a common problem. The ground stayed wet for a long time, didn't it?
Yeah, the racetrack was wet too. I mean, humidity was so high, temperature was no wind. That was exiting pit lane.
Big hiccup for Pedro Lamy. The Matt Connolly Pontiac did not enjoy that. And as we went into the nighttime hours, things got very interesting. Particularly at the O2 Ganassi camp, there was an engine dump.
There was. We saw Montoya take the lead, and then shortly thereafter, he was in the garage area. Their game was over, and it had to really resonate through that whole team. Maybe these BMW cars are going to have problems, but not so. The 01 has soldiered on. There we saw Burt Frizzell have a problem through the chicane. Really tripped up a lot of people today. And then the 88 goes up in flames.
Yeah, John Baker had a scary moment there. The Autometrics 14 Porsche. And then Anthony Lazzaro on fire, and it was over and out. AJ Allmendinger put a nice move on Mad Max Pappas, only to have contact with a GT car several laps later and force him to come into the pits. Then a bizarre accident involving Dion von Moltke and Bryce Miller. Bobby Labonte ran out of fuel, had to get towed back to the paddock to get a top-up.
And that was for the lead. That was the lead car, and suddenly we see action here. Sasha Maassen gets into it. Mike Borkowski. A little bit of retribution a little bit later on, but they both continue.
Hurley Hayward stepped from the 59 only to hand over to David Donahue, and the car, Rafa Martos, and then the car retired. The big talking point was Justin Wilson coming into pit road, going into the garage. He thought he had a problem. There was nothing. The team could not find anything wrong with the 01. And then the 55 retired in flames as well. Certainly not the only car we've seen that happen to. Can you believe it? It happened to AJ Allmendinger again whilst in a prominent position in the top 3. Over and out for car number 6 for Mike Shank Racing. Just heartbreaking stuff. Meanwhile, up front, it's all smooth sailing for the 9 team. We've spoken a lot about the new team owner. Let's meet him, Chris.
Well, Bob Johnson has been coming to this track for about 30 years, watching this race, involved many years with the Brumos team. But, Bob, this is your first year with your name at the top of the list as an owner of a car. You've just got to be beside yourself right now and probably still a little bit nervous.
I'm very, very nervous. You know, this is amazing. I can't even begin to describe it. 24 hours is a long time, but the next 15 minutes are longer.
Now, to this being your first time owning a car, seeing the problems that the team has over the course of the race, we've been documenting the clutch problems, the throttle issues. What is that like the first time?
Anxiety at the highest level, that's all I can say. But we got a great team, and they work through all of those problems with expertise. It's amazing what they can do.
And coming out of here with possibly a win, hopefully, you've got a full season ahead of you with 2 great drivers.
We have phenomenal drivers. All of our drivers here today and yesterday are just outstanding, and we're really looking forward to the remaining part of this year, the rest of this year.
Well, he's counting every second right now, and from one team owner to another. What do you have, Brian?
Chris, I'm at a pretty special place down here with some pretty important people around me. Felix Sabatas down the end. Mike Hall standing here. One of the smartest men in the paddock, Chip Ganassi, not only for the racing empire that you built because you were smart enough to stay back in the motor coach, I think, and stay warm. Chip, if you leave here without a Rolex today, without the victory, I know you guys have tried hard and it's far from over. Anything can still happen. But if you leave here without the victory, what do you leave here with looking towards the rest of the season?
Well, you know, with 10 minutes to go, you get a little philosophical at this point, and you know, you're glad you've run all night and all day, and you're glad you're in the mix to be able to win the race. Got a great group of guys, great group of drivers, great partners and sponsors that help us do all this week in and week out. It's a good start to the season, you know. When we look forward, I guess we'll be second in the points or something. If we can bring it home here, we'll be second in the championship. Disappointing, but we're certainly glad to be in it. It's a great race, and it's a great event to be involved in, and it's a grueling lot of hard work.
Is it more of a bitter pill to swallow when you look at the 01 car and really hasn't had that many problems throughout this event, and you look at it and you go, if we only hadn't made that one stop, we would have been there? Does that make it a little more tough to swallow?
The bitter pill is the 02 car that's in the garage, you know. So, you know, we showed up with 2 bullets in our gun. We only have 1 right now. So,
No, I mean, you know, you win as a team, and you don't win as a team. So, you know, whatever calls were made, those are the ones we live with, and we take the good with the bad. If you could only have one, the Rolex 24 victory or the championship at the end of the season, which one ultimately would you take? That's a tough question. I'm not sure I have the answer for that. All right, but what they do have the answer for is the rest of the season. You know, these guys are not going to give up the championship. That's what they have in their sights now, guys.
Ryan, I should have asked him if he won the championship and got the Rolex too.
Yeah.
Which would he take?
But he puts it in perspective. I mean, this is huge. I mean, these guys come here to win. That's why Chip enters 2 cars. I mean, he had a star-studded lineup over there in the O2 with Dario Dixon, JPM, and Jamie McMurray. So they really felt they were going to come here and win with either one of these cars. Certainly the most important thing is this way round. The O1 is getting good points, finishing second. They are the championship contenders. But, you know, winning that watch, winning the big race is equally as important as winning the championship to Chip Ganassi, it seems.
Running down the order again, it's unchanged. Hunter Reyes behind Pruitt. Tracy Kroner's in 4th. John Pugh now in the Crown Royal car is 5th. Armandinger has amassed enough laps to still be 6th for Mike Shank, and Angelelli is the next best Daytona prototype in 7th. Jonathan Bomarito still well and truly in control for Speed Source in the GT class with a 3-lap lead over Johannes van Overbeek and Wolf Hensler. That's looks like how the podium will stay in GT with 9.5 minutes remaining.
I like the fact that he said we live by the decisions we make.
Yeah, and that's what you want when you're working for a team and you have the big boss in charge. I mean, he's been here so many times now. They've tasted victory, and these last couple of years they've come all so close. And if things remain the same, they're going to come just shy for the 2nd year in a row. But they did everything right. You know, they just made that call. Typically, it's the right call. If the driver's saying it's blown up, you get it back to the garage and get all of the men on deck to try and fix it as quickly as you can. And they couldn't find anything. So they're going to second-guess themselves to death over the next few weeks. But once we get to Homestead and the rest of the season is underway, they'll be back to their normal form.
Yeah.
This car, this team has enjoyed a lot of success, whether it be in the 24-hour or the short race, the Paul Revere, and now the Brumos 250 here on July 4 weekend. And last year they were just distraught. They were devastated when this race was taken away from them very, very early with a bizarre incident, as Brian detailed earlier, involving the fuel cell. However, this year, Speed Sources have come back emphatically. There's John Doonan in the foreground from Mazda, Sylvain Tremblay up on the pit box, David Haskell will be there, Nick Ham will be there, the entire Speed Source team. It is a real family operation.
I tell you, John Doonan, he is the ultimate multitasker. He is Robert Davis's right-hand man at Mazda Motorsport, and they get so much done. They help so many young drivers. They have so many great programs in place, and they really will relish another victory here at the big one.
One of the Mazda drivers and team owners, Derek Whitus from the Continental Tire Challenge, said, "I'll tell you how good John Doonan is. He can take an acorn and turn it into a tree." He does so much with limited resources and has done so much for Mazda racing in North America over the past handful of years. And it's not just here in Grand Am, it's in the American Le Mans Series. They've helped spread the message to Europe as well. A lot of people around the world, the racing world, look to North America to see what Mazda has done and is doing and continuing to do. And John Doonan and his staff have helped raise that bar.
I'll tell you, it'd be tough to be in John's shoes in an economy like we've just gone through. You know, when racing can be looked at as expendable, for him to be able to have a program and to keep it forward says a lot for him.
Well, it's all about great partnerships. Certainly Speed Source and Mazda have had a great partnership for a number of years. They brought Castrol on board over the last few seasons, sponsoring various programs, and they just work together as a team, and it's a tight little unit, and they don't always have the biggest budget with some of their programs, but as we've stated many times before, they stretch their dollar, and they're very effective, as we see once again winning in one of the most competitive classes in all of road racing.
Dorsey, you raised an interesting point where you said in this economy, and we've heard the recent troubles with Toyota, and we know that Honda have faced their struggles as well. You know how important the win 2 years ago was to Mazda? The president of the company and the hierarchy at Mazda in Japan flew Sylvain Tremblay and David Haskell out there to meet the staff at the headquarters of Mazda in Japan and to have a celebratory party for the victory in the Rolex 24. They said it was the biggest race win, the biggest motorsport win since Johnny Herbert and Mazda won Le Mans way back in the 90s.
That's saying quite a lot right there. I mean, racing's a huge, huge endeavor for everybody involved with it, but it pays off in dividends. I believe it really does. I always have believed that. You know, in Mazda, you can see it in their advertising. There's more Mazdas racing on any given weekend. Well, I think that's a strong, strong statement.
Be a tough one to swallow for Kevin Buckler and Seth Nyman. They've got so close, but they just can't bridge that gap in the 67 machine. It's a good run nonetheless. There'll be 2 TRG cars on the podium, the 66 and the 67 in second and third. Here is the AXA 66. We'll see this all season long with Andy Lally and Ted Ballou. Great to have Ted Ballou back. Great to have AXA back.
It really is, because we've seen Ted run here in this class before, and when he teams up with Andy Lally on a full-time basis once again, they are definitely a championship threat.
Still 55 seconds, the margin first to second. 5 minutes remains in the Rolex 24 at Daytona for 2010.
See offline there, the rubber and the pickup, the debris on the side of the racetrack. So these drivers still having to tread carefully. If you get pushed out wide by some of the slower traffic, you still have to be very, very careful. Over the course of 24 hours, there's so much has happened, so many body pieces laying off to the side of the racetrack. And there's a good shot of that.
The 10 is just coming out. The SunTrust Ford Dallara and team principal, we understand Wayne Taylor has strapped in for this final 5 minutes.
Of course, the reason to do that is, you know, he's going to bring his home team car across that finish line. It's so special after 24 hours just to go across that line at start finish, you know, completing the effort, if you will.
Just a few more laps for Joao Barbosa, and he's going to strap on another Rolex wristwatch. He won back in the GTS days in the Mosler with Andy Wallace, and we give a shout out to Andy as well. This is the first Rolex 24 in a long time I can remember without having Andy Wallace here.
Well, it's not good news. I mean, we love Andy Wallace. It'd be great to see him still competing. Maybe we'll see him return. I mean, his driving days are certainly not over by a long shot, and we need to see that Crawford family back again. Also, we saw Crawford compete with Bayer Racing. We'd love to see the Crawford Racing family back on a full-time basis.
Yeah, everybody likes Max and Jan and their sense of humor and, you know, the smile about them. They certainly belong here. Oh, ho, ho.
This is the third place car, Ryan Hunter-Reay. He's got laps, plenty of laps on his side, so there's no immediate pressure there. Speaking of positional changes, there'll be something to celebrate down at Stevenson Motorsports. Robin Liddell has just moved ahead of Richard Leitz for 4th. Now, while it's not a real big deal right now, it could be a very big deal at the end of the championship.
Absolutely. We keep talking about the big picture. Everyone wants to win the big race and get the Rolex on their wrist. But there's also, this is round 1 of a long championship season. And here we see what happens to the level 5.
Just gets in a little bit.
Just gets in there real deep and locks the brakes up. But
might have had brake problem, actually.
Yeah,
with 3 minutes to go, you don't need that.
We saw the 10 car change the pads very late in the going. Maybe these boys were a little bit skinny on the pads and caught Ryan out. It's all conjecture right now. And
no
there
doubt
you see
who that is. You can tell by the glasses, right, Cal?
Oh, buddy, yes, the super bifocals. Just teasing, mate. That's great to see him out there. I mean, he really relishes this race. He really enjoys this race, and it's so much fun now. He's got his son Ricky on board the 10 car on a full-time basis. Jordan in a great effort in GT with Racer's Edge, and I spoke to him earlier this week and he just sounded happy. I mean, normally he sounds stressed out, and this week is race week. You'd think he'd be even more stressed out, but he's just in a good mood. I mean, it doesn't get any better for him than this. This is really, he regards as his home race. He's based just down the road near Orlando with his family, and just enjoys the big one.
Boy, and they had such a good car for here.
Guess what, boys? Grand Am's official starter and finisher, Tawny Miller, has the white flag in her hand for this car right here. Joao Barbosa and the Action Express team. Boy, oh boy. Think about the feelings, the emotions down in that camp. The bus stop for the second last time.
Just a superb run. And they had a great strategy with their drivers. They realized that they needed someone who was fresh and ready to go. In case the 0-1 was right on their tail at the end of this race, they picked Joao Barbosa, the lead driver for the season, as their guy to take him to the checkered flag. 1 lap to go.
3.5 miles for Joao Barbosa, for Terry Borchella. That's right, the crew signaling one more lap for Mike Rockenfeller, for Ryan Dial. Dial's come so close. Rocky's been on the podium here. The other two boys, the more senior members in the team, they know what it's like, but Terry Borchella is the only one of the driving squad who has won this event overall.
And he hasn't seen victory lane in the Rolex series since that win back in 2004, so this is a big moment for Terry too.
Big as far as coming back with a full-time ride in 2010 as well, Dors.
This team slipped under the radar. This is huge for them. Can't say enough. Terry Borchella, you know, he had a tough time. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. He was dropped out of racing, just about lost his ability to get a ride. Now he's back strong.
Let's give a shout out to Joe LaJoy, the engineer, Mike Evans, who calls the strategy, and Gary Pennison, the crew chief of the Action Express 9 squad. And we heard from Bob Johnson, the new team owner. The story there is his son Keith had worked with the Brumos organization for a long time, and as Calvin mentioned, there was a whisper, there was a rumor that they may have been paring back to just a one-car effort. He said, no way. We need to keep these people employed. We need to keep racing with 2 cars. It may no longer be under the Brumos banner, but underneath the skin it really is. And the Action Express team are just seconds, just moments away from victory in the biggest sports car race, kicking the year off here at Daytona International Speedway. On the high banks, the Portuguese driver is bringing it home. Joao Barbosa enters the tri-oval for the final time. This is exciting stuff. The Action Express team on debut go to victory lane at the Rolex 24. How about that? Borchella on there, along with Ryan Dial and Mike Rockenfeller. And a lot of that staff from the Brumos organization experienced victory 2 years in a row. Sensational performance. And V8 Porsche power, back to back for the Porsche brand. It was the 6-cylinder last year, the V8 this year, and Borchella is overcome with emotion.
This is huge for Terry. This is huge. He went through such a lean spell in this form of racing to be back on top and with a full-time ride for the rest of the championship. He's just not filling in here and gets the victory and then walks away. He's got a championship season ahead of him.
Spare a thought for the Ganassi boys. The Telmex BMW Riley comes home second. Some 50-odd seconds adrift of the race-leading team. Chip Ganassi, Mike Hull. It's hard to smile when you've come so close. And the Action Express boys have a huge reason to celebrate. 50.4 seconds in the end, the winning margin. And how about this? It's a very well-liked team, the Speed Source organization, run by Sylvain Tremblay, his engineer and dear friend David Haskell. Nick Ham farewells this team on a full-time basis as Ryan Hunter-Ray comes across the line for 3rd overall. But it's the young man, the new man in the Speed Source number 70, who's going to bring it to the line. How about this in his young career? Jonathan Bomarito will see the checkered flag at the World Center of Racing and bring home the Castrol Syntec number 70's second victory in class in 3 years. It went horribly sideways last year, but they're back to victory lane. They win GT and get the start of this season off to the perfect start. Mazda goes back to victory lane in Daytona. Sylvain Tremblay and John Doonan celebrate. Wow, there'll be so many stories to tell, and let's hear from all of our winners when we come back.
Welcome back to Daytona. There's something special about victory celebrations after 24-hour races, and especially so here at Daytona today when the team taking center stage is making its first visit to the Rolex 24 at Daytona. Let's meet the winners from Action Express Racing with Chris Neville.
Well, Bob, I don't think I've seen so much emotion from a team that won this race in a number of years. We saw tears from Terry Borchella as the car crossed the line, tears from Mariana, Joao's wife, as he drove across the line. Other crew members, some of these crew members stood here with the 58 car last year. So this team just incredibly surprised, incredibly happy, overly emotional about this win. All 4 drivers up on the car: Joao Barbosa, Mike Rockenfeller, Ryan Dial, Terry Borchella. Come on down, Joao. Joao, you won this race back in GT back in 2003. That was a class victory. Now you've got an overall win. Great accomplishment.
This is so much sweeter, you know. Winning overall, it's like a great compliment to the whole crew, man. They did an amazing job. We never quit. We didn't have the best car arriving here, but they turned it around and they gave us an extremely competitive car. Maybe not the fastest, but very consistent. And it was flawless, you know. It was, what can I say? I'm out of words for, you know, my teammates did an amazing job. The crew did an excellent pit stops, giving me a great car. So what else can I say, man? Action Express rock, and it's going to keep going through the year.
Mike, you've won Le Mans, you've won the 24 Hours of Nürburgring, now you've got a Daytona, you're going to get a Rolex.
Oh, finally, man. I was hoping so much, you know, to get that watch one day, and I have to say, I wasn't too optimistic before the race, and when I thought in the night what speed we could run, and I mean, if you look at the car, there's no scratch, right? We never went off track. We just did our perfect race. And the car stayed in one piece, and the guys did an awesome job. And what can I say? I'm really proud to be part of it. And finally, I won, and you know, together with those guys, it's a big pleasure.
Ryan, you're the one guy on the team who hasn't won a major endurance race before. I don't mean to call you out, but is this the biggest victory?
He told me he was going to cry, so I'm disappointed you're not. This is huge. This is huge. And to do it with these guys and this team is huge. Our crew were unbelievable. I've never seen a crew perform so many pit stops to perfection, and the drivers, we did a great job. I mean, it's an incredible day. Words can't describe.
Terry, a couple years ago, you were just a fixture at every sports car race you could imagine. Then you started dropping off the radar screen a little bit. Now you're back for a full season. Could you imagine it would start like this?
I really couldn't. What a great team we have, and the co-drivers today, Rocky, Ryan, and Joao did such a great job. It's just a privilege to be here, and I'm really honored, and I don't even know what to say. I can't believe it.
Great effort from a new team. Brian, what do you have in GT?
Well, it's not a new team by any stretch of the imagination, Speed Source, but they do have a new driver. I should say for the year, you were with the team last year, Jonathan Bomarito, but this year you come back, and I heard you on the radio when you went across the line. You said, I cannot believe this. How special does it feel?
It's unbelievable, you know, and it's just an honor to be able to drive it across and see the checkered flag. Speed Source, Mazda, Castrol. Thank you, everybody. The amount of work that goes into this, I just can't even fathom. I'm just honored to be here.
Well, I know you're honored to be here, but you guys didn't do this without problems in the night. You had contact with other cars, fighting back from that. Was there ever a doubt that you guys wouldn't be here at the end?
You know, we worked for it every second. Dave Haskell, oh my, get in here. Nah, we were 6 laps down, steering wheel cocked at 90 degrees for 16 hours during the race.
And David Haskell's here. David, no. You've won this thing before. This is Rolex number 2 for you. I'm sure this one is a lot sweeter, and I know it's got a lot of emotion attached to it.
It's just, I can't even put into words. It's just, I don't know. It's just, we've done so much work at the shop and what we've gone through the last year, and I don't know where to start and where to end. It's just great to be here, though.
Obviously, a lot of work by this entire team and a lot of emotion down here. Looking for Sylvain Tremblay right now, who is the team owner, the principal, and the number 1 driver. I see Nick Ham over there. Nick, another Rolex for you as well. We'll get Sylvain in here. I know he's walking up this way. Is this one as sweet as the first one?
Yes, this was a real battle. It was a fantastic battle. And the first one was really special, but I'm going to enjoy wearing one on each hand now.
Looking for one more. I'm looking for Sylvain Tremblay. I'm looking for probably the most important guy here, and there he is. We'll fight through the crowd to get to him still. This one, another victory, and as I said to David Haskell, as hard as you guys have worked over the last couple of years, and I know there's a lot of emotion in it, this one, I know it's full of not only celebration, but a lot of thought, a lot of memory. This one to you, how special is it?
It's hard. 08 was better in many ways because she was with me, but I'll take this one. I mean, worked really, really hard to occupy the time so I don't have to think about it, but to be back here with the amount of work that we did, the dedication that we have from our partners to everything that we do, you know, 100-hour weeks and just the craziness just to get here and to do this and to have the opportunity to do it. and to win is that's why we do it. I mean, that's why I wake up every day. That's why I'm hungry every day. That's why I want to win every day.
Well, it's an intense team effort that gets you here, but I'd say more for the Speed Source guys. It's much more of a family effort, guys.
Thanks, Brian, and I think we should say a big thank you to Sylvain Tremblay. For those of you who don't know the story, he lost his wife in a tragic accident to his wife Carol just a little over a year ago. So special times for those boys.
I'll second that, Lee. And let's not lose sight of the fact that history is turning pages here today. We have a debut overall winner, a repeat win in GT from a veteran team, and the legendary Hurley Haywood is paying his last goodbyes to the race. We'll be back. Back at Daytona, here's a look at the top 10 in the Daytona prototype class. Victory for the multinational team, Barbosa, Borchello, Rockefeller, and Dial by just 50 seconds over the proven three-time champions, Pruitt, Rojas, Wilson, and Pappas for Chip Ganassi Racing with Felix Sabates. And then the first of the Scott Tucker cars, followed by the Proto Auto Lola, Ricardo Zonta, Tracy Crone, Nick Johnson, and Colin Braun. Let's get down and hear from more of the podium finishers now with Justin Bell.
Well, this is a lineup of people, guys that trying to look happy about second place. Justin, Scott, Max, and Memo. Scott, what a great result, but it's almost there.
Oh man, it's like, come on! Well, I can't say enough about the guys, all the Ganassi guys, Telmex guys, my teammates here. You know, it was a tough 24 hours. I mean, we had just one little miscue. The 09 car they ran terrific, but it's still, you can't flower it up. I mean, it's like, you know, it was heartbreaking. I mean, it really is. I mean, because we've been on the podium up on top, because that's the way, you know, the Ganassi rolls. If you're not on top, it's just not where you want to be.
I want one word from each of you. How do you feel, Justin?
Well, obviously, I feel very happy to be part of this and finishing second, but just like Scott, you know, we're second, so I want to come back and do better.
Max, you got Sons here. He looks happy with you.
It's like, did it happen or what?
It happened, boy. Memo.
Well, I'm just happy for the team. I mean, this is a good start for us for the championship. Remember, Scott and I, we're going for the full season, and it's good points for the championship.
We want the watch.
They wanted the watch, guys. Max has already thrown away his watch. Kelly, over to you.
Ryan Hunter-Ray brought the 95 Level 5 racing car in third place overall. Your personal best finish here at the Rolex 24. You said you're a little dazed after being up for 48 hours. How do you feel now?
I feel great. I've been up for 2 days. I could still keep going, but the team did an awesome job today. It's amazing. The reason why we were 2 laps down or 3 laps down or whatever it was because of seat belts. We had some tape caught in the belts and they wouldn't close, and it's amazing. Something as simple as belts can hold you out of this race, but we didn't really have the straight line speed for the Porsche or the Ford, and we just basically were quick in the infield, real quick in the infield. So we did what we could do, and the guys did a great job. I'm real happy to be finally on the podium in O'Reilly. I've been here with Bill for a couple years, and we've had some great runs, but haven't been on the podium yet. So this is pretty cool. But Daytona, what matters is winning. So watching this definitely feeds the appetite for it. And I'm just happy to be here with the Level 5 guys. Got to thank Scott Tucker here for making it all happen.
Yeah, and Scott Tucker as team owner. Just your second time here in a DP and already on the podium. This must make you feel pretty proud.
Yeah, I'm real proud, you know, but really take my hat off to all the guys. Ryan and the other drivers did a fantastic job, the team, the organization. And the competition here is so tough, but it was great. And really proud of everybody and all the work that they've done.
And Lucas Luhr, who's an old hat here at these endurance races, but I'm sure the good feeling of a podium never goes away.
Yeah, I mean, we all come here for the watch, don't we? So we couldn't get it. It was a little thing, but I'm really happy for my man Rocky. He wanted it for so many years, so bad, so he deserves it. So I'm fine with that.
And Richard Westbrook, you said first time out here in a DP. Podium, not a bad place to finish.
Brilliant, and yeah, we deserved it. I have to say, if it wasn't for this seatbelt, I think, you know, we could have stayed on the lead lap. I don't think we had the overall pace to win, but we certainly didn't disgrace ourselves. And for me, it's just great, and I have to thank Scott and all the team for inviting me and giving me this chance. I've loved every minute of it.
And finally, Christophe Bouchou here, who's kind of hiding in the back, but still a part of this 95, and a brilliant effort here for this young team.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm really happy for the team. It's a really good start. Third, it's really good. I'm happy for the team.
Congratulations to these level 5 guys. Bob?
All right, thanks, Kelly. Here's a look at our top 10 in GT, and the winners from Speed Source Mazda, Tremblay, Haskell, Ham, and Bomarito finished 8th in the overall top 10. It was a brilliant battle between Mazda, the existing powers from Porsche, and don't forget those brand new Stevenson Motorsports Chevy Camaros. Great weekend of the GT class. Let's hear from podium finishers with Chris.
Well, it was that blended effort from TRG and Flying Lizard that grabbed second. Patrick, last year you and Jorg were able to win this race, second place, a little bit bittersweet. Or does it still feel good to be on the podium?
You know, it does. These guys all worked their tails off, and the crew guys kept coming back from all types of adversity. So we're happy. I never thought I'd be happy with second place, but we'll take this one.
Seth, it's been a couple of years since you brought your stable of driver and your great crew to Daytona. Does it feel good to be back?
Oh, it's great to be here. It's a great race, and it showed us once again why people love to win these races. It's so hard. So second place is very satisfying.
Jorg, we didn't think you were going to show up down here in Victory Lane. The team was saying you were sulking in the back.
No. I'm just a little busy because I'm trying to catch a flight tonight, so no, but for sure I'm here.
And Johannes, you haven't won this race. You've been on the podium a number of times. You just really want to get over the hump?
I'm going to keep coming back until I do it. I thought this year was the one. We came so close, and we had a shock problem, and set us back, but it's a great effort by all the guys, and great co-drivers, great team, and happy to be a part of it.
Last year was the year of the Porsche. This year, the year of the Mazda.
Well, and TRG is a pretty familiar theme. Kevin Buckler finally walks in, standing here with a group of the third-place drivers. We're just missing Andy Lally and Wolf Hensler, I think. Pat Flanagan, good to see you back in a Porsche. It's been a while since you've been in one. We're going to see you more?
We're going to try to do a few more this year. This is pretty fun.
I'd say a podium finish at the Rolex kind of whets your appetite. Kelly Collins, you've been here before. Once you come back to Rolex and you get this close, you're going to do a full season with us? Are we going to see you around?
Well, I will be around. Unfortunately, I won't be with Kevin, but I am going to be with Lou Gelati. I'll be back competing with these guys, but I'd just like to say congratulations to TRG, Kevin, AXA for helping us out with all the sponsor and this thing coming together at the last minute. And it's been a fantastic group of guys to work with, and congratulations to the whole team and all our spotters and everybody.
And TRG certainly knows how to get it done. Ted, nobody knows it better than you. I know you spent a lot of time racing with TRG, both in the Continental Tire Challenge and in the Rolex 24. You did a couple of races last year in the Rolex Series. We're going to see you more this year?
Absolutely. Andy and I are teamed up for the season. We got Kevin behind us. We're really excited. The biggest news is AXA. AXA's with us for the season. We're really excited about it. So Andy and I are going to fight for the championship. Hopefully this is the first of many races that will be on the podium.
It'd be great to see Andy back in a Porsche instead of on one of those silly street luges, even though he's a world champion in that. Bob?
All right, thank you, Brian. We're coming to the end of our 16 hours of live speed coverage from the 48th Rolex 24 at Daytona. Final break coming back, and then we will give you our final thoughts on this great race. Stay with us. More from Daytona coming up.